for 10 after that successful steal, and that ties him for first with Drew Vega, who's not in the lineup today. And Vega had a multi-hit game yesterday. I'm a little surprised that Vega's not in the lineup, but that's one thing about it. You get an opportunity to play a lot of different guys during the course of the summer because there's plenty of at-bats to come with Sodbusters' busy schedule coming up to end the year. 0-2 delivery. Taken high and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Weston Johnston. So the Sodbusters, after this one, will play 2 more against the Plainsmen. They'll have an off day, then go to Oahe and play 3 games in 2 days, including a doubleheader. They'll go right to Fremont without an off day, so they'll end up playing 4 games over the course of 3 days before getting next Saturday and Sunday off. Pitch foul back. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on Weston Johnston. Runner at second base and 1 man out. It's a 3-0 lead for the Plainsmen. The Hastings Sodbusters trying to come back here in the bottom half of inning number 1. A single, a stolen base, and a strikeout so far. And Owen Kelly comes set. Runner goes, and the pitch is way high, but there is going to be time called before the pitch was thrown. Unfortunate there, Weston Johnston had asked for time and stepped out. Hannaford probably again would have stolen third base. And then the pitch just sailed way high. Now, you don't know if that was a product of the time being called, if Owen Kelly just kind of lofted it. But unfortunate time called there. And still no balls and 2 strikes as Weston Johnston trying to find his way aboard. Here's the pitch. It's outside. And Johnston will step back into the box. Runner at second base is Jet Hannaford. And the pitch. Way outside. Nice take there for Weston Johnston. Not to offer at that one. Hannaford in scoring position. Sodbusters trying to come back after the 3 spot for the Plainsmen in the top half of inning number 1. Pitch foul back. Weston Johnston, a guy who has been one of the better players for this Hastings team throughout the course of the summer. Batting .343, including .362 at home. This Hastings team has been about 20 points better here on the home field. Now the pitch is high, and that's ball 4. So Weston Johnston draws a 1-out walk, and 2 on and 1 out now for Cale Jensen. Jensen made his Sodbuster debut yesterday, went 0 for 5. Last summer, Cale 3-11 with a home run, 2 triples, 5 doubles. He had 25 runs batted in and 28 runs scored. He's got his next college lined out. He's going to be headed to Illinois, Chicago's. First and second, 1 man out. The pitch taken outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes on Jensen. Righty-lefty matchup here in the bottom half of inning number 1. Plainsmen getting 3 runs on 3 hits, taking advantage of 2 Sodbuster errors to grab the advantage. Hastings trying to battle back from an offensive standpoint. Pitch foul back. Pretty good swing for Cale Jensen. 1 ball and 1 strike. And don't discount Jet Hannaford taking off for third. It seems like he's had a really good read on Owen Kelly and has had third base stolen a couple of times. Well, they've got a left-hander up there. Much easier for the catcher to throw down with a lefty at the plate instead of the right-hander. So that may change plan if you're Josh Printer. The pitch is lined to left field, and that is going to be caught. Good job for the left fielder. The throw comes in and safe at second base. Jeff Hannaford had taken off, but a great job for Jax Budigan to get to that line drive off the bat of Jensen to take away extra bases. And there were 2 men out and 2 on for Jaden Shabry. Shabry, Boulder Creek, California, his hometown, San Lorenzo Valley High School. He's nearing the end of his Sodbuster playing time. Going to be here for 1 more week. Shabry, the high school grad, still weighing his college options. Pitch taken upstairs for a ball, 1 ball, and no strikes on Jaden Shabry. First and second, 2 men out here in the bottom of the first as Hastings trying to come back and get at least 1. Jensen scorched it pretty good, but a nice job out there on left for Jax Budigan to make the play. 1 ball and no strikes, and the pitch. Foul back. 1-1 for Jaden Shabry. He has 3 multi-hit games, including a 3-hit contest that coming against Spearfish back on May 25th. He went 3 for 6, a triple, 2 runs batted in, and a run scored. 1 for 7 so far against the Plainsmen for Jaden Shabry. Again, Hastings hitting just .220 against Plainsmen pitching, including Kelly, who's on the mound today, and that pitch right across. That doubleheader particularly disappointing. Back on June 22nd, just 4 hits in the first game, just 3 hits in the second game after they had 11 hits in the opening game in 7 innings in a run rule win. 1-2 pitch. Bounce back up the middle. The shortstop's got it. No, he doesn't. Step on the bag, safe. Now the throw comes home, and Hannaford will be safe as the ball gets away. And players will advance. Jed Hannaford came around third base and came in to score. The ball got away from the catcher, Brian O'Connell, and O'Connell is hurt as he got into a collision with Hannaford, and you hope O'Connell's okay. It's a very short-handed Plainsman squad. They were only down to 2 backup position players coming into this weekend, and you're hoping O'Connell's all right. So it looked like it was going to be the end of the inning on a soft grounder to the shortstop, but Wandler could not handle it, and by the time he got to second, Weston Johnston was safe, and then Jet Hannaford rounded third and scored. As they will talk things over here with coaches. I'm sure Bo Boyle is going to question whether Jet Hannaford needed to slide on that play at the plate. Right now the score is 3-1. And we'll get the official ruling. Runners did advance, so that grounder off the bat of Shabry will be a fielder's choice. The error allowing Johnston to reach second base as he hustled down to end up beating that throw. And then Hannaford scored on the play. Saw Johnston advance to third and Shabry to second. And it looks like this play at this point is going to stand. 3-1 the score. The Sodbusters are on the board on a rather unusual play as Hastings Sodbusters and the Plainsmen just getting rolling here, and we've already seen a lot of electricity. The Plainsmen getting 3 runs at the top of the inning. Sodbusters have 1 so far here in the bottom of the frame. We've already seen a combined 3 errors, and we haven't gotten through the first. It hasn't been real pretty to this point. So Shabry reaching on the air, Hannaford scoring, Johnston advances to third, and Shabry on the play advancing to second base. As looks like the umpires have gone over, and there could be a potential ejection anyway, but looks like Jim Langen goes over and just kind of has a word with the dugout at this point, and we will play on here. Don't believe anybody got ejected, but I think the warning has been issued. And now Jim Langen comes back over and points at one of the Plainsmen. Like I said, I'm sure Bo Boyle hopes that cooler heads prevail. He mentioned the fact that he was down to 2 backup position players at this point. I think they've got plenty of pitching to make it through the weekend, but then you saw their catcher get dinged, but Brian O'Connell apparently okay. Here comes Graham Hilton, who got the walk-off walk to win last night's wacky contest. Bouncing ball to the right side. That's going to be fielded by the first baseman. He'll step on the bag to end the frame as Jake Steffes takes care of Graham Hilton. But the Sodbusters do get a run on the board. 1 run on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 2 men left. We had the second inning. The Plainsmen 3, the Sodbusters 1, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Welcome back to Sodbuster Baseball. We want to apologize for the beginning of the stream. At our end, it said we were streaming. There was apparently a YouTube issue, but we are now hopefully live and rolling. And so, little recap. I'm not exactly sure when we got on and when we weren't on. We did have a pregame interview that you can get on our Sodcast. We conducted that with our left fielder, Jackson Crane, and so you can pick that up on Spotify. But the Plainsmen plating 3 runs in the top half of inning number 1 on 3 hits, 2 Sodbuster errors. So if we had to miss a half inning to strain, that was one to miss because the Sodbusters really came out and booted around a bit. Meanwhile, the Sodbusters coming right back as they got a run on the board. An unearned run on 1 hit. Jet Hannaford singled, stole second, would end up eventually scoring on an error as Hastings got 1 run on 1 hit. Coming back, no RBI in that first inning for the Sodbusters. So the Plainsmen, they got an error to begin the game. Dax Wandler reached. Ivan Gomez singled. Chris Ortega singled. So the first 3 reached. Then Asher Friedman had a sac front fly to bring home a run. Braden Boyle, a fielder's choice grounder. Brady Alexander with an RBI double. Then he was thrown out trying to stretch the double into a triple. That's how the Plainsmen got their 3 runs on Austin Raines. And again, the Sodbusters getting 1 back with Jetta Hannaford singling and eventually scoring on an error. Here's Brian O'Connell, starting catcher. He's swinging and missing for the Plainsmen here in the top half of inning number 2. Brian O'Connell, he is the beer batter, so Sodbuster fans are fired up at his strike 1. He's a University of Tampa product. All they did was go 55-10, and now O'Connell is not feeling very well. He had a collision at home plate with Jet Hannaford earlier, and you kind of wondered if he was going to be able to continue at that time, and now swings at the first pitch here, and he is not doing well at this point, and you hope he can continue, but it's not looking like he's going to. Now, that is really unfortunate, and in case you didn't hear our earlier comment about the fact that Bo Boyle, they are very short on position players, just 2 backup position players for this Plainsman squad. They've got plenty of pitching to make it through the weekend, but not in good shape in terms of their position players. And with O'Connell being a catcher, that is more bad news for the Plainsmen, as he was home trying to grab the ball on a potential tag of Jet Hannaford and had his arm, I believe, kind of hyperextended. And O'Connell swings and misses here, and you could tell that things were just not going well and not feeling right. And so looks like there is going to be a pinch hitter here for the Plainsmen. Really unfortunate for their situation. They come in at 3-12. They're 1-5 in second half standings. Meanwhile, Hastings 17-13 and 1-1 in second half standings. Man, we had a really good pregame interview, so unfortunate that our YouTube stream did not work. But if you missed that opportunity, you can get Jackson Crane's interview on Spotify. So now they bring in number 20, which is Easton Mitchell. Mitchell inherits the 0-1 count and fouls the pitch back. So Easton Mitchell down to the count, 2 strikes. So a weird situation here. Strike 1, swinging to Brian O'Connell, but he cannot continue. And Easton Mitchell comes off the bench cold, inherits the 0-1 count. Now he's down to the count. No balls and 2 strikes, and the pitch. Off speed, just misses. Hastings Sodbuster fans certainly thought they had it, but not so, says Daniel Roth. Just missed a little bit outside. So, Daniel Roth, give him the benefit of the doubt. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. So Easton Mitchell strikes out. And there's one man out here in the top half of inning number 2. And that'll bring to the plate Jake Steffes. Steffes, the first baseman, team best 282 batting average, a team best 8 runs scored. He's got a couple of doubles and 4 runs batted in, and one of his best games of the summer coming against the Hastings Sodbusters. Coming in the second game of the doubleheader here in Hastings. Both those won by the Plainsmen. He went 3 for 3 with a double. He had an RBI and 2 runs scored. Rains working quickly as Steffes at the plate. And the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes on Jake Steffes. Here's the pitch. Hit high in the air to center field. And Chase Phillips over into right center to make the catch for the second out of the inning. So Steffes got a good piece of that one, and Jax Budigan will come to the plate now for the Plainsmen. Budigan, number 9 hitter. He's a freshman out of Arkansas Rich Mountain. The Bucks went 24 and 29 during the spring. He's from Tennessee, hitting 188 for the summer. Is Budigan. Takes the off-speeder right across from Rains. And Budigan, 4 runs scored. Also got a stolen base. Jax Budigan trying to avoid a 1-2-3 inning here. As that pitch misses, 1 ball and 1 strike. 6 came to the plate for the Plainsmen in the first. They would have their first 3 reach. They would eventually get 3 runs home. Pitch misses, but Budigan did offer at it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. They peel down to first. Austin Rains trying to cap off a 1-2-3 inning, and the pitch just got a piece of it. Foul back. 1-2 still on Jax Budigan. Dax Wandler reached on an error and later score on a second error. Ivan Gomez singled. Chris Ortega singled. Was erased on a fielder's choice grounder. Asher Friedman had a sacrifice fly, trying to recap that first inning since our YouTube was not working early. And then Brady Alexander put the finishing touches on the inning with an RBI double. Tried to stretch it to third, but was thrown out. 2-2 pitch, called strike 3. 1-2-3 go the Plainsmen in the second. As we head to the bottom half of inning number 2, Plainsmen 3, Sodbusters 1, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball. Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain? Lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
At the bottom half of inning number 2, again we had streaming issues. It showed on our YouTube feed that we were streaming, and there was some intranet. This intranet's mysterious to us all, and it was not working, so we're happy to be on now and apologize for our pregame not coming to you and missing most of that first. Although, I say, if you're going to miss an inning, you may as well miss one where the opposing team just pretty well hands it to you. So 3-1 that first inning for the Plainsmen. Sodbuster did get a run back. Their first constituted of a Jet Hannaford single. Lucasi struck out. Weston Johnston walked. Advanced on an error. Cale Jensen lined out. Jaden Shabry, a fielder's choice grounder. Graham Hilton with a ground out. Sodbusters getting 1 run on 1 hit. We've already seen 3 errors in the contest. Owen Kelly and Austin Rains, the pitching matchup here today. Kelly ended up beating the Sodbusters when he pitched against them, his lone win of the summer. Austin Raines took a loss against the Plainsmen as part of that doubleheader back on June 22nd. Raines threw 36 pitches in the first inning, and he'll throw one pitch and likely get it out here as Welch pops it up on the right side of the infield. And backing up a couple of steps is Ivan Gomez. There's one out here in the second. Chase Miller will bat now for the Hastings Sodbusters. And Miller coming in at 217. Couple of runs batted in. He scored 3 times, 2 for 4 in stolen bases in 6 games played. He's 0 for 1 against the Plainsmen so far. Getting a start today at the shortstop position for the Hastings Sodbusters. Plainsman defense, kind of reset that since we were likely not broadcasting when we told you about their team earlier. They will have a new catcher. Brian O'Connell started the game at the catcher spot, but Easton Mitchell is now doing that job for the Plainsmen, playing first base Jake Steffes. Miller trying to lay down the bunt, fouled it away. At second base, Ivan Gomez. The shortstop, Dax Wadler. At third base, it's Asher Friedman. And Owen Kelly with the 0-1 delivery. Right there for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes on Miller. The outfield, left to right, Jax Budigan, Brady Alexander, and Braden Boyle. Get Owen Kelly coming in here after he beat the Sodbusters as part of a doubleheader back on June 22nd, so looking for his second win and trying to give the Plainsmen their 4th win in 16 games as the pitch is missing for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Chase Miller. For Owen Kelly, 1-2. Brings this pitch in, and that's wide of the zone. As the mentioned Kelly, 1-2. He's thrown 12 innings, allowing 18 runs, 16 hits, struck out 13. He's walked 10 and hit 5. Opponents hitting .314 against Owen Kelly, but was excellent against the Sodbusters. As the 2-2 pitch misses. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes on Chase Miller. Kelly beat the Sodbusters going 5 innings, allowing 1 run on just 1 hit, striking out 5, walking 3, and hitting 2. He's a Midland University product. Curveball, and Miller stays alive and fouls it out of play. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Chase Miller. Another one of the Saginaw Valley State Cardinals at .214 and 10 games played in the spring. Chase Miller can play either of the middle infield positions. He's an accounting major. He's battled a leg injury, so has seen limited playing time. And draws a walk here with 1 out. Miller aboard. Second walk issued by Owen Kelly. He's got a strikeout. Here's Chase Phillips for the Hastings Sodbusters. Phillips, batting average now at 179, although he's hit .316 at home. 4 runs batted in, 6 runs scored, 5 for 5 in stolen bases. Went 0 for 4 yesterday against Fremont. Pitch taken a little bit high, 1 ball and no strikes. 7, 8, and 9 for the Sodbusters here in the second. 3-1. The Plainsmen on top. We're in the bottom half of inning number 2. Scheduled 9-inning contest. These 2 teams will play 2 more games tomorrow and Monday. That'll be end of the road for the Plainsmen. The travel-only team here in the Independence League, owned by the league. They're basically created to try to fill out home schedules and maybe a little, I'd say, easier or less, what's the word for it? Less aggressive schedule, a more forgiving schedule, should we say that? 18 games in 20 days. I don't know if they had an off day last year. They actually got a couple of extra off days as there were a couple of doubleheaders due to rain and potential rain. 2-0 pitch, and that's across for a strike. And this was actually probably the worst road trip for the Plainsmen, as they had to get on a bus from Casper after losing yesterday and then come all the way to Hastings for this matchup today. But they came right out of the bus and put a 3 spot on the Sodbusters in the early going. Pitch misses inside. Now 3 balls and 1 strike, and Owen Kelly questioning where that might have been, and it was off the, could have been off the inside of the part of the plate, but was called a ball. 3-1 delivery, and this one is lined to center field for a base hit. The Sodbusters will have runners at first and second, one man out. That's probably not going to make Kell any happier when he thought he got a strike on the previous pitch and it wasn't called that way. And then Phillips singles it to center. So first and second, one out for the top of the order, Jet Hannaford. Hannaford with a single, and he scored the Sodbuster run. Hastings trying to come back against the Plainsmen. This Plainsmen squad, we mentioned during our pregame how much more competitive they have been this summer compared to last summer. 1-16 a year ago. 3-12, and they've been in a lot of the other games. They had a pretty good series at Casper's. The pitch is across for a strike. No balls and one strike. Had a chance to beat the defending Independence League champs 2 out of 3, lost a 5-3 game and a 6-4 contest, and also fell 12-6. But they were on the short end of a lot of lopsided games a year ago. Most of the contests this summer have gone right down to the wire. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed. Hannaford down to the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Began with a 3-game sweep at the hands of Fremont, lost to Hastings 14-4, but then swept the Sodbusters 5-1 and 5-2 on June 22nd. The 0-2 pitch inside net hit Hannaford. Hannaford off the helmet, and now the bases are loaded with only one man out. A big chance here for Hastings to get this game even or better. Luke Causey will come to the plate. Hannaford hustles down after he tossed the bat away. Jet will be our featured player spotlight tomorrow. And Luke Causey stands at the plate now, looking for redemption after he struck out his first time up. Luke, a big game defensively yesterday to go along with an RBI triple and a run scored. And he's first pitch swinging here, takes it the other way. That could be trouble. That will fall. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Causey around first, headed to second. Throw to third, not in time as they tried to get the lead runner and could not do so. It's an RBI double for Luke Causey. He brings in a pair. Jet Hannaford hustles to third as the throw did not get him. Miller and Phillips both come home, and it's a new ball game at 3-3 here in the bottom half of inning number 2. So everybody in the ballpark expecting Luke Causey to pull the ball. He takes it to left field instead, and no chance for Jax Budigan, who actually did a pretty good job getting there to keep it from going farther. And it's a 3-3 deadlock. After the pop-up from Tyler Welch, the next 4 have reached, and now strike 1 to Weston Johnston, who walked his first time up. 3-3. 3 runs, 3 hits for the Sodbusters, 3 runs, 3 hits for the Plainsmen. A combined 3 errors as well. 2 of those on the Sodbusters, as they had 2 errors during the first 3 batters of the game. Heard Josh Printer talk about last night. I need to shore things up defensively, and there have been some shaky moments here over the past few weeks. Pitch fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Weston Johnston. Leading RBI guy, had a big RBI chance here. He's another Arkansas Tech Wonder Boy, an ag business major. His dad involved in crop insurance down in Texas. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out and the pitch. Outside, good stop of the backup catcher, Easton Mitchell. Mitchell playing for Brian O'Connell, who was shaken up in the first, and then he stayed in the game, but after swinging the bat in the second, had to be taken out. So unfortunate for O'Connell, and hopefully he'll be able to come back and play later in this series. A 3-3 tie here in the second inning, and the pitch is upstairs for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Weston Johnston. Miller walked, Phillips singled, Jet Hannaford hit by a pitch. Luke Causey, a 2-run double. Runners at second and third with 2 runs home, and still only 1 man out as Hastings trying to take the lead. The wind, or I should say the delivery, is swung on and missed here as Weston Johnston will step back in for the Hastings Sodbusters, and now 3-2 count on Johnston. Hannaford runs at third, Causey at second, and the pitch swinging a foul ball, and that gets a piece of Easton Mitchell. So I'm not sure what the catching options are after Mitchell. We've already seen O'Connell go down, and Mitchell takes one off the body. Hopefully he is okay. As the home plate umpire, Daniel Roth, uses this time to get some extra baseballs, and then Johnston will step back in. I'm sure Weston Johnston feels his pain. He's a catcher in his own right, one of the several positions he plays. Second and third, only one man out. Hastings trying to grab the lead for the first time of the game. 3-2 pitch, and this one is drilled to left field, and that will be caught by Budigan. Tagging at third and scoring will be Jet Hannaford. So the leadoff man for the Hastings Sodbusters reaches twice and scores twice, and the top RBI producer for Hastings, Weston Johnston, brings home another. And Hastings has a lead of 4-3. Here comes Cale Jensen. Jensen hit it right on the button his first time up, but it was a line out to left, as Jax Budigan has had a busy time out there in left field in this game. 4-3, Hastings on top. Wind blowing out to right here at Duncan Field today, so playing a little smaller than 408. This time Jensen pulls it. He's got himself a single. Rounding third, here comes Causey. He will score, and the Sodbusters have 4 on the board here in the second to grab a 5-3 lead. So Owen Kelly, after he was masterful against the Sodbusters in the first meeting of the year, giving up only 1 hit in 5 innings, he's given up 5 runs in less than 2 innings in this matchup. And Jaden Shabry steps in for Hastings. 5-3 Sodbusters on top. Big swing, no contact for Shabry, who hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. No balls and a strike on Jaden Shabry. We're in inning number 2. 1 in the first, 4 in the second for Hastings. Plainsmen get 3 in the first, none in the second. Pitch inside, nearly got a piece of Shabry. It does tick Shabry, so the second hit batsman of the inning. And Hastings will continue the frame. Runners at first and second for Graham Hilton. We'll see a visit to the mound from Hilton Merriman, the assistant coach and pitching coach for this Plainsman squad. Mentioned the fact that Owen Kelly, very familiar with his pitching coach, as Owen, the Midland University guy out of Omaha Burke High School, had a really good start against Hastings in his first outing of the summer, but has lost a couple since, and the Sodbusters have gotten to him pretty good here in this game. A single, a walk in the first. Here in this frame, a single, a double, a single, and 2 hit batsmen to go with a walk. The Sodbusters have 4 runs on the board and not done. The 9th man to bat of the inning is Graham Hilton. Hilton had a very unusual at-bat to end the game yesterday as he was down to the count 0-2. The lights shut off here at Duncan Field at 8:30. So they had to get the lights restarted. It's about a 20-minute process. He's first pitch swinging, grounds it to the right side. Second baseman sets, throws, and Graham Hilton grounds out. But safe to say, Hilton bouncing back and came back and ended up drawing a bases-loaded walk to win it for the Sodbusters yesterday. Hastings comes up with 4 runs in the second. They lead it 5-3, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters Baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate wood bat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Out of the third inning, it's a 5-3 lead, and now Austin Raines has pitching with the lead for the first time. He's thrown 36 pitches through the first 2 frames. got banged around for 3 runs on 3 hits in that first. Sodbusters did not play good defense. There were 2 errors committed behind him, but a good bounce back 1-2-3 inning in the second. He faces the top of the order, Wandler, Gomez, and Ortega here in the top half of inning number 3. In the Plainsmen nearing the end of their busy stretch, 18 games in 20 days. And talking to their head coach, Bo Boyle, really getting guys who were not interested in playing the whole summer, just wanted to come out, get basically, upwards of 20 games played, get yourself 40 or 50 at-bats to stay sharp, and that's the kind of guys they were looking for this Plainsman team and for that Bison squad, also another travel-only team in this league. Pitch is missing for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes on Dax Wandler. Wandler reached on an error his first time up, and they've built a nice little chemistry. Been in most of the games here this summer. Pop up into right field. Lucasi has this one measured and makes the play. So Dax Wandler is out after reaching and scoring his first time up. Here's Ivan Gomez. Gomez, a single and a run scored back in the first. Lucasi making that last routine catch. There weren't many routine plays yesterday as he took away multiple runs with 2 diving catches to end the first and 8th innings in the win over Fremont, 7-6. If he doesn't make one or both of those plays, Hastings likely does not win the game. 1-0 delivery, and this misses for ball 2. Austin Raines, 36 pitches thrown coming into this frame. The Dodge City Community College commit down in the Jayhawk West Conference. Ball struck solidly to left field. Jet Hannaford's got it measured, though, as the left fielder. It's challenged this time of night and later out and left. And Hannaford plays it well. Pretty well struck by Ivan Gomez, but he is out, and Chris Ortega will come to the plate. So Raines trying to retire his 6th in a row now after that first inning. Ortega with a single his first time, but then was erased on a fielder's choice grounder. Raines winds and delivers. Off speed, misses for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Chris Ortega. He's another Midland guy. Going to be a senior at Midland University from Fresno, California. Pops this one up behind home plate. And underneath it, grabbing it, will be Graham Hilton, and another 1-2-3 inning recorded by Austin Raines. As the Sodbusters head to the bottom half of the 3rd, they lead it 5-3, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
In the bottom half of the 3rd inning, this game totally turned around after the Plainsmen put up 3 to begin the contest. Hastings with 5 unanswered, and they try to keep it going with their 7, 8, and 9 hitters here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Welsh, Miller, and Phillips against Owen Kelly. Kelly, after dominating the Sodbusters the first meeting, allowing just 1 run on 5 hits today, in 2 innings, allowing 5 runs, 4 of those earned on 4 hits. He's walked 2 and hit 2. That hasn't helped his cause. Hastings has had a good approach at the plate. Here's Tanner Welch. Welch, a pop-up, his first time up. So he'll stand in the right-handed box. Done a little bit of everything for this Hastings team, including being assistant coach on the road. Corey Coranda doesn't travel, so Tyner's helped out when he can. The longtime player for Hastings College and the Sodbusters. Takes ball 1, wrapping up his baseball playing days, going to get his real estate license down in Arizona. 1-0 delivery, taken upstairs for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes on Tyner Welch. A community health and wellness major was 2 for 24 coming into this game, 0-8-3. 2-0 delivery, and that misses for ball 3. Welch, a capable hitter last summer for the Hastings Sodbusters, 284 with 6 doubles. 21 runs batted in and 15 runs scored, just has not gotten it going at the plate here during his summer campaign. And takes the pitch, ball 4. Leadoff walk for Welch. Sodbusters have their leadoff man aboard for the second time in 3 innings, and Chase Miller will step to the plate. It'll be Miller and Phillips against Owen Kelly, as Kelly's pitch count at 53 coming into this frame. You've seen Austin Raines get through the first 3 innings with 42 pitches thrown. Just 1 earned run allowed for Austin Raines. Pitch taken for a strike. No balls and 1 strike on Chase Miller. Hastings Sodbusters with a 5-3 advantage here. Trying to even the season series with the Plainsmen after the Plainsmen took 2 out of 3 in their first meetings here at Duncan Field. Pitch taken for a ball, 1-1 the count on Chase Miller. As Owen Kelly, a righty-righty matchup, working out of the stretch and brings it home. Right on the outside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Miller working a walk to begin that 4-run second inning. He had a 1-out walk, and then Chase Phillips with a single. Hannaford hit by a pitch, and Luke Causey, the big 2-run double. 1-2 delivery. And this one struck high in the air to left field. The Sun will play havoc with this, but Budigan battles through it, had a late break on it, but got the out. 1 on, 1 out as Welch retreats back to first base. We've talked to left fielders each of our last 2 days, and it is a challenge to play that left field spot at this time of day or later. And for that matter, third baseman. You look at the Plainsman third baseman, Asher Friedman. He was shielding his eyes from the sun before this first pitch to Chase Phillips. Phillips with a single his first time up, and he scored a run. No balls and a strike on the Aurora High School graduate from Nebraska. Nearby here in this part of the state. 0-1 pitch is popped foul down the first base line, and nobody's going to get there. Quickly 2 strikes on Phillips. 1 in the first, 4 in the second for the Sodbusters. They own a 5-3 lead. Plainsmen scored 3 in the top half of inning number 1. Plainsmen on the road to Casper before coming here. They lost a 5-3 game. Very much a part of that contest. Just a 4-run 4th inning was the difference in that one. Bouncing ball to the right side. Second baseman's got it. Throws back to the shortstop to get the lead runner. Well played there by Gomez, who turned and fired it back to Wandler. It goes 4-6 to retire Welch. Phillips aboard on the fielder's choice, and it'll be Jet Hannaford to come to the plate. It'd be interesting to see if they turn Chase Phillips loose at first. A little more speed on the bases now with Phillips over at first, and the sign is flashed. Try to get him into scoring position. Jet Hannaford's already reached base twice. A single, a stolen base, and a run scored. He's been hit by a pitch and scored the 4th run of the game for the Sodbusters. Phillips a decent lead over at first. He will go. Pitch taken low, throw down to second base, and Phillips has the base stolen successfully. So Chase Phillips going on first movement there, and he is now 6 for 6 in stolen bases for the year for the Hastings Sodbusters. He's in scoring position, and 1 ball and no strikes the count on Jet Hannaford. So Hannaford an RBI chance as Hastings trying to get that add-on run. Keep the pressure on the Plainsmen. 1-0 delivery. Taken a little bit high, 2 balls and no strikes on Jet Hannaford. Hastings 17-13 on the year, 1-1 in second half standings. And all these travel teams playing, and they have scuffled for wins, so every team that's playing for the championship, as this one bounced back up the middle, the shortstop's got it, fielded cleanly, good throw over for Dax Wadler, and the Sodbusters are done. As everybody 500 or better in the second half standings of the teams battling for the postseason. We'll tell you about those records when we come back as Hastings leads it after 3 innings of play, 5-3, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs, We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Head of the fourth inning, Sodbusters lead the Plainsmen 5-3. 3 runs the first for the Plainsmen. Hastings getting 1 in the first and 4 in the second. Austin Raines back out there. He's run 42 pitches. He had a 6-pitch inning to set him down 1-2-3 in the third after a very effective second as well. He sit down 6 in a row, and he'll face Friedman, Boyle, and Alexander for the Plainsmen. Asher Friedman hit the ball hard his first time up, was awarded with a sacrifice fly to bring home a run. The second of the ball game for the Plainsmen, and skies this one foul. No balls and a strike on Asher Friedman. Friedman headed on to Alcorn State after he played for the Cecil College, Maryland Seahawks, 2-year college, which went 28-25 in the spring. Swings and fouls it off. No balls and 2 strikes on Friedman. Asher Friedman had a hit in the first and third games of that 3-game series against Hastings. Coming into today, 2 for 7 against the Sodbusters. Quick 0-2 count and the pitch. Taken high and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Friedman with Boyle and Alexander to bat here in the fourth. Hastings 17-13, Plainsmen 3-12. 0-2 pitch, knocked down by Graham Hilton. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes, not 1 and 2. As Casper 4-1 in second half standings, Oahe 4-1, Spearfish 3-2, Fremont 3-3, Hastings 1-1. Bouncing ball to the left side, knocked down by the third baseman. The set, the throw to first, well wide of the bag, as Weston Johnston will commit the third error of the day for the Hastings Sodbusters, and Asher Friedman aboard to begin the fourth. Johnson did a great job of getting it stopped. He had plenty of time, but pulled Welch well off the bag. Tyler did a good job of just keeping it from going down to the right field corner and save extra bases. Here's Braden Boyle. Boyle reached on a fielder's choice and scored the third run of the day for the Plainsmen. 5-3 the score. Hastings on top. 1 ball and no strikes the count on Braden Boyle. Braden, 190 for the summer campaign. Had a hit in the first meeting against the Sodbusters. That was a 14-4 Hastings win. Didn't play in game 2 and then went 0 for 3 in the Plainsmen 5-2 victory over Hastings on June 22nd. He's ahead in the count here, 2-0. Pitch, sky to center field. Chase Phillips back and will camp underneath it, make the catch. Runner tags at first, but a strong throw from Phillips. So Friedman retreats. Good job for Chase Phillips, not only to catch it, but to bring it in, keeping the runner at first with 1 man out. Here's Brady Alexander. He probably has the hardest hit ball of the day for the Plainsmen as he doubled to the left field gap, but was gunned down trying to get to third. Did provide a run batted in. Probably has the most pop of this Plainsman crew. He's got 2 of their 7 home runs. Sodbusters will happy to have him in uniform once his weekend series is done, as he'll switch green uniforms. Playing for the Hastings Sodbusters for the rest of their campaign. And he hits it hard again to the left center field gap. That's trouble, and that is another extra base hit. It will get all the way, almost all the way to the wall. Here comes the throw in. There's going to be a play at the plate. The throw is in time. Chase Phillips guns it to the shortstop, and how about Chase Miller brings it home, and they gun down Asher Friedman at the plate. Wow. So Brady Alexander has another double. You thought he was going to have another run batted in, but Phillips to Miller, And the relay throw to Graham Hilton. And out at home was Asher Friedman. Really pretty play. And there are 2 outs in the inning. It's 5-3 still. But how about the day for Brady Alexander? Already 2 doubles. He'll lead away from second. Nothing to show for that one. And here is a line drive to right field. That's a base hit. Alexander going to try to score. Here comes the throw from Luke Cossey. Play at the plate. Out! Back-to-back outfield assists. The single from Easton Mitchell. Luke Cossey comes up throwing. Brady Alexander gunned down. So all sorts of offense for the Plainsmen, but the Sodbusters able to get 2 outs at the plate. And after 3.5, the Plainsmen turned away. It's 5-3 Hastings, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Well, it's exciting, as we do believe that the head coach for the Plainsmen has been ejected, Bo Boyle, I think claiming interference at home on the catcher, Graham Hilton, was not called that way, and Boyle got his money's worth, and it looks like he has been ejected. Sodbusters still lead at 5-3, but how about the outfield assists coming for the Hastings Sodbusters? They gunned down Asher Friedman at home with Chase Phillips to Chase Miller to Graham Hilton to get the second out of the inning. And then Brady Alexander, who had doubled, was thrown out at home on a good throw from Causey, and Hilton getting the tag down. So back-to-back hits result in 2 outs for the Plainsmen, and it remains 5-3. So they got 2 hits on the board there, and no runs, 2 hits. There was 1 error, and after all of that, there was just 1 man left. So now the Plainsmen have 3 runs on 5 hits. The Sodbusters have committed 3 errors. And Hastings is going to be batting their 2, 3, and 4 hitters in inning number 4. We saw Luke Causey and his defensive prowess in terms of catching the ball yesterday, and now his throwing arm is showcased as he gets an outfield assist to end the top half of inning number 4. 5-3 the score. Plainsmen now with 5 hits in the game. So they had hits each of their last 2 batters that last frame. And well, now there's a little bit of a delay as see Owen Kelly come off the mound, and I'm not sure if there is. I think the head coach got tossed for the Plainsmen. Was somebody else tossed? Jim Langen is over and visiting with some of the Plainsmen, and I say visiting in terms of probably more of lecturing instead of visiting at this point. So it has been electric, shall we say, at the ballpark in the first 4 innings of this one. We've seen 8 runs scored. We've seen 4 errors committed. We've seen a couple of outfield assists. We've seen an ejection. And this still doesn't compare to all the weird stuff that happened yesterday when we had an 8-minute rain delay where it just poured, then almost immediately stopped. Then we have a 40-minute weather delay, and then the lights went out later on. Here's a hard hit ball and nice stop on the backhand. The first baseman over the pitcher covering. as hopefully this game will return to some semblance of normalcy. Jake Steffes gets it over to Owen Kelly covering to retire Luke Causey on the first pitch. Causey had an RBI double his last time up. 3-1 the put out here. And here comes Weston Johnston. Johnston has reached base once and has a sacrifice fly. 0 for 0 for Weston Johnston with a run batted in. 5-3, Sodbusters on top. They've been out hit 5-4. And the Sodbusters have overcome 3 errors in the game to have the lead. It's not been a pretty defensive game top to bottom. 1 ball and no strikes the count on Weston Johnston for the Hastings Sodbusters. Stands the right-handed box. Owen Kelly's gone the distance. 67 pitches thrown coming into this frame. And the pitch swung on and fouled away, and I think this one gets a piece of Easton Mitchell. Dadgummit, it has been a rough day for the catchers for the Plainsmen. We've already seen them lose Brian O'Connell to an apparent arm injury. And since Easton Mitchell has come in, he has been nicked twice. So, home plate umpire Daniel Roth giving him a moment. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out. The Sodbusters lead at 5-3, bottom half of the 4th inning, first of a 3-game series, the final series of the year for the Plainsmen. The Bison picking up where they left off, as they're going to be playing several series over the next few weekends. It's kind of a unique situation. You've got the Nebraska Prospects, who are an organized team in their own right that play only road games to help fill the schedule. And then you've got the Plainsmen and the Bison, which are basically owned by the Independence League, as the pitch swung on and missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And they also help fill out home schedules, so your regular 5 teams in the Independence League get mostly home games. Don't have to travel as much, and that's really nice if you're Hastings and don't have to make another road trip to a Casper or a Spearfish in particular. Pitch fouled away. Pretty close road trip to Fremont, and Oahe is not a terrible trip. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count on Weston Johnston here in inning number 4. Sodbusters looking to add a 5-3 lead. Scored 1 in the first, 4 in the second. They've stranded 5 as well here in the first 3+ innings. Kelly brings it home. Struck solidly by Johnston. Going back is the right fielder, and he'll not be able to get there. As Braden Boyle has it go over his head, Johnston digging for 3, and he will be in there for a triple. Ball actually got mishandled by the second baseman. Johnston didn't know that and slid into third. May have had a chance to come on home. As it stands, it is a triple for Weston Johnston. And the Sodbusters have a runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs. And we'll see if they can get him home with Cale Jensen. Jensen an RBI single his last time up. Cale going to be going for his next college stop to Illinois, Chicago. Chance for an RBI here as he takes the pitch inside, and that, well, Cale thought it got a piece of him. I don't think the home plate umpire, Daniel Roth, thought so, and Jensen will retrieve his bat. Cale was certain as he tossed the bat away, started to take off that left shin guard, and was told to get back in the box. 1 ball and no strikes the count on Cale Jensen, Central City High School graduate. 1-0 delivery. Bounces this one foul. Good to see the area players have an opportunity here. A couple of those guys in the lineups today with Chase Phillips from Aurora and Cale Jensen from Central City. Yesterday, it was Cohen Nelson from Grand Island who made a spot relief appearance. We don't think we're going to see Cohen again this summer, but what a relief appearance it was as he picked up the victory in relief, going 3 2/3 innings, no runs, 3 hits, striking out 5, and that Sodbuster come from behind walk-off win, 7-6. 2-1 pitch on the way. Jensen swings and misses at probably ball 3, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Cale Jensen. Trying to deliver the run from third with less than 2 outs. 5 runs, 5 hits for the Sodbusters, 3 runs, 5 hits for the Plainsmen. And the pitch hit high in the air to right field, carrying pretty well. That'll be deep enough to score the run as Braden Boyle makes the catch. Sacrifice fly for Cale Jensen's. He has a pair of RBI. And Weston Johnston comes in to score the 6th run of the game for the Hastings Sodbusters. It's now 6-3 Hastings. Here's Jaden Shabry. Shabry, a fielder's choice grounder, his first time up. He's also been hit by a pitch. We're in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Just trying to get those add-on runs if you're the Hastings Sodbusters and put some distance between you and your opponent. Give more working room for Austin Rains, who's thrown 53 pitches working through the first 4 innings today. Shabry down to the count, no balls and a strike. Same 2 teams will square off for a pair of 6:35 games each of the next 2 days. 0-1 pitch. Took something off of that one. Shabry could not make contact. It's quickly 2 strikes on Jaden Shabry. A triple for Weston Johnston. He scores on the RBI sac fly from Cale Jensen. 0-2 delivery, and Shabry gets a piece of this one, and we'll get another crack at it. Jaden Shabry, another of the guys that we hope to interview before his time ends. So we tried to get all the Sodbusters interviewed at some point as part of our Sodbuster Spotlights. You can check those out on Spotify. Off-speed pitch. Struck solidly to center field. Back and fading back will be Brady Alexander. He'll make the play to end the frame, but the Sodbusters come up with a run on 1 hit. We head to the 5th inning. Hastings 6, Plainsmen 3. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. Now, my job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Head of the 5th inning, the Hastings Sodbusters are on top 6-3. 6 runs on 5 hits for the Sodbusters, 3 runs on 5 hits for the Plainsmen. As we thought initially that Bo Boyle was ejected after a situation, but upon further review, I believe it's Hilton Merriman, the pitching coach, who was ejected from the contest, because we still see Bo Boyle, and he is going to be the third base coach for the Plainsmen. So their pitching coach got ejected instead after that play at home when Brady Alexander was gunned down to end the frame. It's going to be Steffes, Budigan, and Wadler, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Plainsmen against Austin Rains. Pitch drops in there, but apparently just misses for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes, and that's, according to our flight scope, likely a strike, but do what you do. 1-0 delivery. That's the bad thing about this whole baseball thing. When the ball goes in the hoop in basketball, it either goes in or goes out. There's no judgment. 2-0 delivery. Now you've got your computers running everything. Artificial intelligence is going to be calling the games, and then they're going to take control of the nuclear weapons, and then we've got Terminator. I'm just saying. 2-1 pitch, and this one's lined into center field for a base hit, so Jake Steffes aboard for the first time. He's 1 for 2, a single, after he lined out to center his first time up, and Jax Budigan will bat now. Budigan, number 9 hitter, playing left field. He struck out looking against Rains his first time up. 53 pitches thrown for Rains. Owen Kelly up to 83 pitches for the Plainsmen. Top half of inning number 5, scheduled 9-inning game. Hastings has come back from an early 3-run deficit to lead at 6-3. Pitch across for strike to Jax Budigan. Budigan out of Arkansas, Rich Mountain, the Bucks. He did play some in the spring and goes after a pitch here that was well out of the zone. He's down to the count No balls and 2 strikes. Hitting .188 for the summer campaign with 4 runs scored. Does have a stolen base. Plainsmen haven't ran much. 5 out of 10 in stolen bases coming to today. Pitch outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the number 9 hitter in the Plainsmen lineup. They're 1-5 in second half action. 3-12 on the year. They're 1 win coming against the first half champion, Spearfish. 1-2 delivery. Called strike 3. Boodigan down looking, 1 on, 1 out. Back to the top of the order, Dax Wandler. That victory for the Plainsmen was a 6-5 contest as they were able to pick up that victory on June 30th. Since then, have lost 3 straight. Here's Wandler. Wandler reached on an error and scored on an error back in the first. He's also flown out to right. Takes this pitch outside for ball 1. Looks like one of their backup players, Brandon Krebs. He's a pitcher. He is now the first base coach for the Plainsmen, as we believe assistant coach Hilton Merriman was ejected. We thought initially that Bo Boyle got the heave-ho, but he is down coaching in the third base box. Pitch taken outside. 2 balls and a strike on Dax Wandler, top half of inning number 5 with the Hastings Sodbusters leading this one 6-3. Look at a win for the second time and move back over 500 5 games. This one hit hard to the third baseman, Johnston Fields. Throws to second for 1. Over to first. High throw and not in time. Nice stop for Welch to keep that one from getting away, as it will be a fielder's choice grounder. They erase Jake Steffes. It's 5-4 on the putout there, but the throw from Jaden Shabry, a little bit too tall. Wandler reaches on the fielder's choice. And 2 outs, 1 on for Ivan Gomez. Good job for Johnston to bounce back. He had committed an error earlier. Sodbusters have 3 errors in the game, just 1 so far for the Plainsmen. Pitch low, Graham Hilton knocks it down. Graham nearing the end of his time for the Hastings Sodbusters. We believe tomorrow is his last day. Then he'll be preparing for that next trip wherever it is. He's still considering his college options. Pitch is missing. Count goes to 2 balls and no strikes on Ivan Gomez. Gomez a single, a run scored back at the first. He lined out to left in the third. Here's the pitch. And that one just a hair high. 3-0 on Gomez. Sodbusters looking to find their way to a second straight win. Try to get a little run going. Need to win that second half to make the postseason. And another borderline pitch going against the Sodbusters. All 3 of those very easily could have been strikes. Instead, it's a 4-pitch walk to Gomez. There's runners at first and second now for Chris Ortega. Ortega singled his first time up and then popped up in the third. And a really good job for Austin Raines to not let borderline pitches get to him. He is not showing any emotion one way or the other. And it's one thing you're coached. You don't want to let your emotion show. It's try to get the next one, and there is the next one, and it's a strike. No damage done to this point. Raines did pick up a strikeout earlier this frame. And for Austin Raines, he's now struck out 3. That last walk was his first of the game. Pitch 1 ball and 1 strike on Ortega. Ortega 1 for 2 on the day. Chris Ortega, a little bit of pop in his bat as he hit 4 home runs for Midland in the spring. He's ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike here. Ortega, 1 home run this summer. He had a multi-hit game at a 14-4 setback at the hands of the Sodbusters. Hits this one high in the air to right field. Luke Causey's got it measured, camps underneath it, and makes the play, and the Plainsmen do not score. No runs on 1 hit. They leave a pair, and we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. It's Hastings 6, Plainsmen 3. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at coursecpas.us.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Welcome back to Duncan Field. The Hastings Sodbusters lead this game by a score of 6-3. Hits are even at 5 apiece. And the Hastings Sodbusters will have Hilton, Welch, and Miller coming to the plate against Owen Kelly. Kelly battling his way through 83 pitches so far. Could be his last inning. They do play with a pitch count here in the Independence League, as you are restricted on the number of pitches thrown. You can't start an inning after 100 pitches. So if he has an efficient inning, maybe can get into the sixth. That very easily could be his last inning if Hastings can make him throw a little bit here. And a guy who certainly could make him throw is Graham Hilton. What an at-bat he had to end the game yesterday. Down to the count, no balls and 2 strikes. The lights go out. He had to set through the 20-minute delay. Of course, so did the pitcher for Fremont. But then Hilton fouled off several pitches, able to work the count full, and draws the bases-loaded walk to give the Sodbusters a 7-6 win. They never trailed in the game. Fremont kept coming back at a game that took over 4 hours from start to finish after the 3 delays. Hastings breaking their 6-game streak. Graham Hilton watches this pitch go by, and he's ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes here to begin the bottom half of the 5th inning. And the right-handed pitcher brings it in. That's well outside. 3-0 now on Hilton. He grounded out to first, grounded out to second. Graham Hilton out of Northern Oklahoma, Enid. It's been an entertaining week, or an active week, I guess you would say, for Hilton. 3-0 delivery, taken for a ball. And I thought that was ball 4, but it's 3-1 now, the count on Graham Hilton. It's the Hastings Sodbusters. The pitch in there for strike 2. Graham Hilton, earlier in the week on Wednesday, got hit in the head with a bat while catching, blood pouring out of his head. He stayed in that game, in that exhibition contest against the American Legion All-Stars. Ended up tripling in that contest. And then the aforementioned walk-off walk to win yesterday. He battles here and fouls the pitch away. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Graham Hilton. Pair of ground outs, his first 2 times up against Owen Kelly. Kelly's found the going a little more tough today than when he pretty well dominated the Sodbusters for 5 innings, allowing only 1 run on 1 hit. It's part of that doubleheader sweep for the Plainsmen. Gives up a walk here. Leadoff walk to Graham Hilton. And it's going to be Tyler Welch coming to the plate. He has popped up and walked his first 2 plate appearances. Signs flashed, and certainly a possibility that they'll send Graham Hilton. Hilton's got some wheels. 4 for 5 in stolen bases this year for the Hastings Sodbusters. He leads away from first. Hastings looking to extend a 6-3 lead. Just get those tack-on runs if you have the opportunity. Pitch low and in the turf. Hilton takes off. This will be a wild pitch to put Hilton down at second. Good stop for Easton Mitchell, but no chance to throw out Hilton. There is left-handed action for the Hastings Sodbusters behind Austin Raines. Raines has pretty much been a 4-inning guy during his outings so far this year. He has gone 5 innings this point for the Hastings Sodbusters, throwing 72 pitches and allowing the 3 runs, just 1 of those earned. Did a good job coming back and continuing to throw strikes after giving up the 3 in the first when the Sodbusters had 2 errors behind him. 2-0 the count now on Tyler Welch. Runner in scoring position, nobody out. Hastings leads it 6-3 against the Plainsmen. As Owen Kelly comes set, a look back to second, and the throw well out of the zone. 3-0 the count on Welch. Tyler Welch, the Arizonan, now a Hastings College grad and probably wrapping up his baseball playing days, doesn't rule out coaching in his future, and wants to get his real estate license. 3-0 delivery, high for ball 4. Welch with a pair of walks and a pair of walks to begin the inning of Hilton and Welsh as Owen Kelly trying to battle through this situation. And now it's the number 8 hitter, Chase Miller. Miller with a great relay throw home to gun down Asher Friedman back in the 4th. That was followed by a Lucasi throw home as they had back-to-back outfield assists. Pitch outside, and all of a sudden Owen Kelly's lost the strike zone. He was 3-1 to Graham Hilton before walking him. A 4-pitch walk to Welch, and now 1-0 to Chase Miller, and the pitch. That's a cross for strike, 1 ball and 1 strike on Chase Miller. Sodbusters giving their normal starting shortstop the day off, as Christian Luera really battling it at the plate right now. 1-1 delivery. Squaring to butt. Miller will put this one right back to the pitcher. He'll throw to third. They get the force play there. Really good job for Owen Kelly. Kelly guns down Graham Hilton. It's 1-5 on the putout. Welsh goes to second. Miller reaches on the fielder's choice. His bunt was down, but it was right back to Owen Kelly, and Kelly making the right call there. Here's Chase Phillips. Phillips 1 for 2, a single, a run scored. He's also reached on a fielder's choice and stole the base. Continues to be right-handed action for the Hastings Sodbusters. So it could be the end of the day, or I should say left-handed action. Could be the end of the day for Austin Raines. Swing and a miss for Chase Phillips for the Hastings Sodbusters. Trying to deliver that run from second base. Hastings getting a run in the 4th. They've scored in every inning but the 3rd. Line drive, right side, base hit. Here comes Welsh around third. He's going to try to score. Ball picked up, and the throw will come into second base. It's an RBI single for Chase Phillips. He has a multi-hit game for the Hastings Sodbusters, his 3rd multi-hit game of the summer. Brings home the run there as Welsh scores. Chase Miller will go first to third on the play, and that could do it here. It looks like call to the bullpen will be made as we see Bo Boyle come out, and likely the end of the day for Owen Kelly. We'll tell you about the new right-hander for the Plainsmen when we come back. Hastings 7, Plainsmen 3, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner. Welcome back to Duncan Field. A new right-hander coming in for the Plainsmen. It's Matthew Airy, sophomore out of Barstow Community College in California. So far, 3 appearances for the summer, a 5.92 ERA in 13 innings, allowing 14 runs, 11 of them earned. He's allowed 8 hits, struck out 11, walked 13, and hit 3. Opponents hitting just 178 off of Matthew Airy. Did not have an appearance against Hastings. He was the starting pitcher each of his other 3 outings. He went 5 innings against Fremont back on June 20th. Didn't figure in the decision. Went 2 1/3 against Oahe. Was the losing pitcher on June 25th. His last outing against Spearfish when he started. Went 5 2/3 innings. Allowed 5 runs, just 2 of those earned. He allowed 3 hits. Struck out 2, walked 5. And here in long relief with his team trailing it by a score of 7-3. Hastings looking for more as they'll have runners at the corners and only one man out. A pair of walks to begin the frame, a fielder's choice grounder, and then the RBI single from Chase Phillips to bring home Tyler Welch. And the Sodbusters not done yet as they now have out-hit the Plainsmen 6-5 and lead the contest 7-3. Same two teams tomorrow and Monday here at Duncan Field. If you're in central Nebraska, good chance to see Hastings Sodbuster baseball as they'll have this 3-game series. Then they'll have an off day, go to Oahe and Fremont. Next action after Monday will be a week from Monday, and then it gets serious. 13 games in 14 days, 11 games in 12 days in terms of the home competition, and then they'll wrap up the season at Oahe for a pair. But you wanted to see some baseball from July 14th to July 25th. You can come out to Duncan Field every day but one. Now, at the plate is Jet Hannaford, who goes after the curveball out of the zone. No balls at a strike on Hannaford. Hannaford's had a good day. He's reached base twice. He scored twice. 1 for 2 for Jet Hannaford, a single and a stolen base back in the first inning. Sodbusters lead at 7-3, and the pitch, as the runner goes, it's taken for a strike, and the ball lost away by the catcher. Brian O'Connell, I should say, Easton Mitchell tried to bring it back into his hand, and ball bounced away and actually got a piece of Jet Hannaford. And I think Mitchell was apologizing to Hannaford for that little slip. Runners will be at second and third now as Phillips takes second, his second stolen base of the day. He is perfect in stolen bases this year for the Hastings Sodbusters. 2 RBI chances now for Jet Hannaford as Hastings trying to tack on, leading at 7-3. Here's the pitch. Curveball is bounced foul. Josh Prenner still got it. Cleanly handed with the left hand over to the right and tosses it to the Sodbuster dugout. He's still playing every once in a while. Is called into action for a couple of games for the Hastings Sodbusters as a shortstop. The former everyday shortstop for the Sodbuster team, now in his first year as the head coach. Pitch taken outside. Jet Hannaford down to the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 7-3. Hastings with the lead, looking for more in the bottom half of the fifth. 1 in the first, 4 in the second. Single runs each in the fourth and fifth. Plainsmen put up 3 runs in the first. Called strike 3 as Hannaford couldn't pull the trigger. That's a big second out of the inning for Matthew Airy. Airy trying to put his couple of outs on the board and keep runners at second and third. It'd be big to keep this Plainsman squad within striking distance. If Luke Causey finds a way to come through here, you feel really good about a 6-run lead with 4 innings to play. Causey a 2-run double back in the second inning. Takes this pitch for a ball. He's 1 for 3, Luke Causey. Flash in the glove yesterday with a pair of diving grabs. Happened with bases loaded in the first and with 2 on in the 8th. Huge outs for the Hastings Sodbusters. If Causey doesn't make both of those plays, it's likely a loss for Hastings. 2 balls and no strikes on Causey, and then Causey showing his arm today as he gunned down a potential run at home plate. 2-0 the count here on Causey, and the pitch from Airy stays high and away. 3-0 on Causey. Weston Johnston, the leading RBI producer for the Sodbusters, waits on deck. 7-3. Hastings on top. 7 runs, 6 hits for the Sodbusters. 3 runs, 5 hits for the Plainsmen. 3-0 pitch on the way. Watches it go by for strike 1. Hastings likes its chances if it can play well down the stretch to win the second half. But it's going to be a battle as Casper and Oahe both off to strong starts in this second half of the year. But Hastings doesn't play either of the top 2 finishers in the first half, Spearfish or Casper. Mostly travel teams. They'll have Fremont and Oahe for games down the stretch. Several games with the prospects 3 games with the Bison and these 3 with the Plainsmen. 3-2 pitch, high and away. The ball gets away, and coming home to score will be Chase Miller. As the walk to Causey. Runners will be at the corners now, with Phillips advancing to third base. And it's 8-3 with 2 outs here in this 5th inning. 2 runs have scored. An RBI single from Phillips, and then Chase Miller scored on a wild pitch. Here's Weston Johnston. Johnston's had a big day. 1 for 1, a triple, a run scored, and a run batted in. He had a sacrifice fly back in inning number 2. Hastings continues to get the tack on runs, and now a more comfortable 5-run lead. Causey leads away from first. He will not go here, and Johnston will take strike 1. Weston Johnston stands in the right-handed box. Likes the outdoor activities, including hunting. He's a Texas Ranger fan. 0-1 pitch on the way. Down on the turf. Good stop there for Easton Mitchell. Mitchell called into duty when he was likely going to get the day off, but Brian O'Connell was involved in a collision at home and tweaked his arm, tried to stay in the game, but then after his first swing at an at-bat in the 2nd inning, he was taken out. Causey leads away from first, and the pitch taken in the turf. Did he offer at it? And he did. So says field umpire Jim Langan. Daniel Roth, home plate umpire. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count now on Weston Johnston. Trying to battle here. There's 2 men out. Sodbusters looking for a tack-on run as they lead by 5. See if they send Causey now with 2 strikes. And the pitch taken outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. A little surprised they haven't. Sodbusters like to put guys in motion, and great speed at third base with Chase Phillips. You would think a double steal could be in the offing here for the Hastings Sodbusters. Causey leads away from first. Phillips from third. And the pitch high for ball 3. 3-2. Well, now, one way or the other, Weston Johnston at the plate. We'll see Luke Causey take off from first base with the 3-2 2-out situation. 8-3, Hastings on top. Bottom half of inning number 5. Causey takes off. He will be at second, and the pitch is low for ball 4. So back-to-back walks. And so a strikeout and a pair of walks for Airy since he's come in, and a huge chance for Cale Jensen. Jensen, a pair of runs batted in. He's 1 for 2 on the day. And big RBI chance for Cale Jensen. Good to see him back at a Sodbuster uniform, Sodbuster green. He's gotten a chance to wear a lot of green in his playing days. First pitch to him, misses for a ball. Green, the color of choice at Central City, started his college career at North Dakota State, which was a very similar color combo to what the Hastings Sodbuster team wears, and then went with the red of Northeast Community College. 1-0 delivery, swung on and missed, 1 ball and 1 strike. Jensen, an outfielder by trade, but expect him to see mostly playing time at the DH spot for the Sodbusters as Hastings stocked pretty well in the outfield. 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 outs, bases loaded. Hastings with 2 home already, and the pitch. Off speed, catches the outside corner. It's 1-2 on Cale Jensen. Jensen had an RBI single as part of that 4-run second and had a sacrifice fly to bring home the run in the 4th. Hits this one hard, but to the first baseman. He handles it and will step on the bag. Good job there for Jake Steffes. And Hastings will settle for 2 runs. They get their 2 runs on 1 hit, and they leave the bases loaded. We head to the 6th. It's Hastings 7. Make it Hastings 8. And the Plainsmen 3. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. Now, my job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Head to inning number 6. Austin Raines back out there for the Hastings Sodbusters. Kind of theorized that he may be done after seeing action behind him at the pen, but it'll be Austin Raines out there. 72 pitches thrown to this point, allowing 3 runs, just one of those earned, on 6 hits to this point of the contest. Austin Raines already in his longest outing of the year for the Hastings Sodbusters as Hastings leads it 8 runs now on 6 hits, while the squad from the Plainsmen have 5 runs, or making 3 runs on 5 hits. It'll be Friedman, Boyle, and Alexander to bat against Raines. And Friedman, a sacrifice fly back in the first. He also reached on an air and was gunned down at home on a good relay throw. Pitch taken for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes just outside on Asher Friedman. Plainsmen under the direction of Bo Boyle and Hilton Merriman. Their second year. Bouncing ball to the left side. Miller charges and knocks it down, sets, throws to first, safe at first base. Miller couldn't handle it cleanly, picked it up on the second try, but the throw over not in time, and a leadoff base runner for Asher Friedman to begin this top half of the 6th inning. That'll bring to the plate Braden Boyle. Boyle, a fielder's choice grounder, a run scored back in the first inning. He lined out to center. And they are going to say infield single for Asher Friedman. The initial call to begin this inning. So Friedman comes up with the 6th hit of the game, and we'll see a visit to the mound here as the head coach Josh Printer will come out and take the ball from Austin Raines as the Sodbusters will go to the pen. Pitching change being made. Hastings 8. And Plainsmen 3, this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters Baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate wood-bat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Continue play in the top half of the 6th inning. Hastings on top 8-3. Asher Friedman's ball put in play was ruled an infield single, so Braden Boyle, Brady Alexander, Brian O'Connell are going to be facing Xander Hardy. Hardy will be making his 2nd appearance of the summer for the Hastings Sodbusters. And Xander's first appearance coming against this Plainsmen squad. He is a Hastings College guy from Cheyenne, Wyoming. He took the loss against the Plainsmen in the 2nd game of the doubleheader back here on June 22nd. And for Xander Hardy, that outing was able to work a lot of innings, work fairly deep, 6 innings in that 7-inning contest, allowing 4 runs, 3 of them earned on 6 hits, struck out 4, walked 3. His ERA at 4.50 coming into today as he faces Braden Boyle. Boyle 0 for 2 with a run scored. Runner at first and nobody out. And Hardy a check of the runners and the pitch. Misses outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Hastings trying to win here today. Take the first game of this series. They did the last time against the Plainsmen, and then Plainsmen battling back to win the next 2 in doubleheader fashion. Pitch for Xander Hardy outside. 2 balls and no strikes. So the game belongs to the bullpen now. For Austin Raines, working 5+ innings, would be in line to pick up the victory after he took a loss against the Plainsmen his last time. So the 2 guys who started on the mound in the doubleheader for the Sodbusters are the 2 guys who pitched today in the first game of this series. As Hardy was the Game 2 starter, Raines was the Game 1 starter. Count 2 balls and a strike on Braden Boyle now. Left-handed hitter. Here's the pitch. This one is grounded to the right side. Second baseman's got it. Throw to second for 1. It's dropped. Chase Miller could not bring it in. So the defense continues to struggle for the Hastings Sodbusters. They have 4 errors officially, and you could make a case that they probably should have 5. They very easily could have 2 up and 2 down in this inning. Instead, an infield single and an error on Miller as he just couldn't bring it in. So this will be E6. Runners at first and second. Nobody out now for Brady Alexander. And Alexander has 2 doubles in the game already, so not a guy you want to see up there with runners on if you're a Hastings Sodbuster. And the pitch is fouled away as Alexander, you want to see him have all of the success he wants to in 3 days, as he is going to be joining the Hastings Sodbusters after the Plainsmen ends their campaign, but you'd kind of like to see an offer for the next couple of days if you're a Sodbuster fan. Brady Alexander, like I say, the guy's probably got more pop in the bat for this Plainsman squad than anybody. 2 of their 7 home runs, and he's already got 2 doubles on the day. He's got a run batted in, and very easily could have another run batted in, but Sodbusters making a good relay throw to gun down that potential runner, Asher Friedman, back in inning number 4. We're now in the 6th, and the Plainsmen trying to battle their way right back in it. Pitch misses. It's 2-1 now on Brady Alexander, the Ohio University baseballer. Sodbusters will be able to add another D1 player to their roster. 2-1 the count. Xander Hardy brings it home. And Alexander lines this one to right field down the line, and fair ball. Runners had to make sure it got down. This will be a single for Alexander. He is 3 for 3 on the day as he hit it hard to center field each of his first 2 times, took it the other way here, and now the bases are loaded. Nobody out for Easton Mitchell. Mitchell, a strikeout victim his first time up, then singled. So the Sodbusters lead by 5, but look out, the Plainsmen bases loaded, nobody out here in the 6th. And Xander Hardy trying to find a way out of this big mess. Here's the pitch. Half-hearted swing there for Easton Mitchell. No balls and a strike. Sodbusters trying to strike out the beer batter for the 2nd time today. In beer batters for the season, they are now 11 out of 17. 0-1 pitch coming from Xander Hardy. Pitch low, and the good stop there from Graham Hilton. It's 1 ball and 1 strike with no place to put Easton Mitchell. An infield single, a potential double play ball that turned into an error, and then a single from Alexander, and all of a sudden it's a big chance here for the Plainsmen. 1-1 delivery, that's low, and another good stop for Hilton to keep it in front, and 2-1 the count now on Easton Mitchell. And we are going to see a visit to the mound here. Josh Printer going to come out and talk with Xander Hardy. Hardy, the Hastings College guy. He had played junior college ball up in Oregon, but Xander Hardy, liking what he found here at Duncan Field, decided to go to Hastings College. He went to Southwestern Oregon Community College before signing with Hastings. And trying to battle his way through a tough situation here. Came in, got the ground ball he wanted off the bat of Braden Boyle. Ball was thrown to second base, but then dropped. So that left runners at first and second with nobody out. And then Alexander singled down the right field line, and that's where we stand now with Easton Mitchell, a 2-1 count. No action in the Hastings pen, so right now it is Xander Hardy's game, but the Plainsmen, a couple of hits away from clawing their way right back into this one. They scored 3 in the first. Hastings with 8 unanswered, but the Plainsmen, bases loaded, nobody out. The Sodbusters trying to make a defensive play. They have 4 errors already in the game. Had 2 errors the first 3 batters of the contest. And now a pick play back to second. It's thrown away. And coming home to score on the 3rd error of the inning will be Asher Friedman. Boyle had to stay at second. So now it is 8-4. 5 errors, including 3 this frame. And it's not pretty for the Hastings Sodbusters, but they still own a 4-run lead, trying to find that elusive first out. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Hardy. Just find a way to get the batter here. Get that first out. You keep the double play in order. 8 runs, 6 hits for the Sodbusters. 4 runs, 7 hits for the Plainsmen. And the pitch. Inside, and it hit him. And now Easton Mitchell tries to make his way to first. Again, they've already lost their first catcher today, and Mitchell is limping. He has been beat up behind home plate. Not sure what the 3rd option for this Plainsman squad is, but the bases are loaded again now with nobody out. So infield single, fielder's choice grounder, single, hit batsman, 3 errors in the frame. It really can't get much better or much worse for Hastings, you hope. 8-4 the score, so the tying run comes to the plate with nobody out, but right now they are attending to Easton Mitchell. We'll see if he can continue. As Mitchell having a word with Jim Langan, the field umpire, and now Bo Boyle, the third base and head coach, will come over and talk with Mitchell. Brian O'Connell left the game in the second with an injury. Mitchell trying to get this one out as he took one, not sure if it was off the top of the foot, off the ankle bone, one way or the other. He is certainly not feeling well. That painful for Mitchell, but also painful for Xander Hardy, who had a 2-ball, 2-strike count and trying to get the first out of the inning, and instead the hit batsman. So Hardy hasn't had the greatest of success coming in. Like I say, the Sodbusters in this inning very easily could have been 2 up, 2 down. A slow roller to the shortstop was ruled an infield single, then a grounder to the second baseman. The throw to second was dropped. So you had that turn of events. Very easily could have had first 2 guys out. Instead, both of those guys reach. One has scored so far. The bases are still loaded, or loaded once again, to be more accurate. And here's Jake Steffes. Steffes has gone 1 for 2 so far. Sodbusters trying to get an out anyway. Pitch low, throw down to first, and back in safely is Mitchell. And smart, if rather cruel play for Graham Hilton, the guy who's struggling running anyway. Try to throw him out and make him work a little bit harder. And now timeout has been called by the field umpire Mitchell. And now I think Mitchell is going to have to come out of the game. They are going to allow a courtesy runner here. So making an executive decision. I did not know that you could do that in Independence League Baseball, but they're going to anyway today as we see Dean Samuel come in at first base. So Dean Samuel will run at first. Whether that is a pinch runner or a courtesy runner, I can't tell you for sure, as the pitch across for a strike. Jake Steffes trying to continue the success for the Plainsmen. They have the tying run at the plate with nobody out here in the 6th inning. The pitch. It's looped into center field. Could be trouble. That is going to fall. Everybody's going to be safe. As the throw comes in, it's a bloop single for Jake Steffes. He's 2 for 3. And it's now 8-5. Talking about Boyle, it's one thing this Plainsmen squad, they have shown a lot of intestinal fortitude and just have not shown much quit during their 3-12 campaign so far, and here very easily could have just played for tomorrow, down by 5 runs entering this inning, and now the tying runs are on with nobody out for the number 9 hitter. Pitch swung on and missed by Jax Budigan. Budigan a pair of strikeouts so far in the game against Austin Raines. Gets his first look at Xander Hardy. 8-5, the Sodbusters on top, but the Plainsmen have out hit them 8-6, and they are in the midst of a big rally here. Hastings does have action on the mound. Pitch just misses there, and 1 ball and 1 strike on Jax Budigan. So a right-hander getting hot for Hastings. Pitch popped foul, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Strikeout would look big for Xander Hardy. Innings like this, you feel like, are you ever going to get out number 1? The first 5 have reached for the Plainsmen. 2 have scored. Bases loaded again. And Xander Hardy brings home the pitch. Bounced foul. It remains 1-2 on Jax Budigan. Budigan from Munford High School in Tennessee, playing his college ball at Arkansas Rich Mountain. 1-2 pitch on the way. Bouncing ball to the left side. Third baseman's got it. The throw home is in time. Throw down to first is not in time, but they do get the lead runner. A good job there for Weston Johnston to come home with it. They retire Brady Alexander. It's 5-2 on the putout there. The courtesy runner, Dean Samuel, advances to third. Jake Steffes to second. Jax Budigan aboard on the fielder's choice. Bases loaded once again, but mercifully the first out recorded, and back to the top of the order for Dax Wandler. 8-5, Hastings on top. Wandler 0 for 3 in the game. Reached on an error, scored on an error back in the first. 5 errors in the game, and they've come in bunches, and that's when you give up a lot of runs. It's Hastings committing a couple of errors back in that first. 3 errors here in the 6th. Pitch on the outside corner. The count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike on Dax Wandler for the Plainsmen. Wandler, a Midland University guy out of Canada, secondary education major. Lefty-lefty matchup. Pitch popped up, short right field. Second baseman out to make the play, and the throw comes in, and they'll keep the bases loaded. So 2 really good pitches for Xander Hardy to get the fielder's choice grounder from Budigan, and the pop-up off the bat of Wandler's. That play made by Jaden Shabry in short right field. 2 outs in the inning now, and here comes Ivan Gomez trying to salvage this frame as the Plainsmen, if they only score 2 here, it is a huge victory for the Hastings Sodbusters. So they had 2 home with the bases loaded, nobody out, and the pitch across for a strike. So you get out of this with just the 2 runs allowed, it's momentum right back on the Hastings Sodbuster side. 8-5, Hastings on top, despite being out hit 8-6, and despite 5 errors. Here's the pitch. It's low for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike on Gomez. Ivan out of northern Oklahoma, Enid, the Jets. He's from Katy, Texas. A college teammate of Graham Hilton. The pitch bounces in, and Hilton takes that one off the chest. As those 2 guys exchange a moment there. Say the former college teammates, and Hilton visiting with Ivan Gomez, who's got the 2 ball and 1 strike count. Here's the pitch. Bounced foul, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Gomez. As the Jets, during the spring campaign, pretty good year, 43-18. They made a National Junior College Division II regional. 2-1 pitch on the way. I should say the 2-2 pitch is well outside. It's now 3 balls and 2 strikes on Gomez. So bases loaded, 2 outs, 3-2, and this is a huge pitch in the course of this game. If Gomez finds a gap, we likely have a tie ball game. 8-5 the score. Runners have their leads. They will take off, and the pitch is popped a mile high. Short center field. Chase Phillips calling off the infielder and makes the catch. And out of all of that, the Plainsmen settle for just 2. 2 runs come across. There were 3 hits and 3 men left. And we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. It's Hastings 8 and the Plainsmen 5. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
At the bottom half of inning number 6, Sodbusters committing 2 errors instead of 3 this past frame, but they've committed 5 in the game, but they continue to lead at 8-5 after Plainsmen played at 2 runs. Sodbusters will have Shabry, Hilton, and Welsh trying to get something to go against Matthew Airy. Airy came in relief of Owen Kelly, and Sodbusters getting 2 runs on the board to send Kelly to the showers. See if they can get those 2 runs back that they gave up on the top of the 6th. But like I say, if you're Hastings, you feel like it was a moral victory as the Plainsmen had scored 2. They had the bases loaded, nobody out, but the fielder's choice grounder, a pop-up, and then a fly out to center, ending any further damage. It had the feel of a huge inning for the Plainsmen, but a good job for Xander Hardy to settle the cause and get out of it with minimal damage. Here's Jaden Shabry. Shabry has reached base twice. He is 0 for 2, however. A fielder's choice grounder. He was hit by a pitch and lined out to center and takes ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes as Matthew Airy out for his first full inning of work. 8-5, Sodbusters on top. Try to nail this one down. Move back to 5 games over 500 for the summer and go to 2-1 in second half competition. Winner of the second half, the Independence League, will meet Spearfish for the Championship Series. 2-0 delivery. Taken for a strike, 2 balls, and 1 strike the count on Jaden Shabry. Bottom half of inning number 6. Hastings has scored in every inning but the 3rd. Meanwhile, Plainsmen getting 2 in the 6th after they scored 3 in the 1st. Line drive, base hit, Jaden Shabry. He's got his first hit of the day and the 7th hit of the day for the Hastings Sodbusters. Good approach there, didn't try to do too much of it. The high school grad is still weighing his options for college. Here's Graham Hilton, 0 for 2 on the day with a walk. Stands in the left-handed box, trying, if nothing else, to advance the runner. See if they turn Shabry loose as Josh Printer coaches over at third. Corey Caranda at first. And the pitch is way high and outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Graham Hilton. Matthew Airy out of Barstow Community College. The Vikings with a tough spring as they went 5-35. Airy looking to get some college experience here for the summer. A lot of California ties as you've got their head coach, Bo Boyle from Sacramento. So he's got all of those California connections. You see a lot of Californians on the Midland roster. 1 ball and no strikes the count. And the pitch. Way high, 2 balls and no strikes. Sodbusters get their leadoff man aboard, trying to come right back after they gave up the 2 runs in the top of the inning. Try to get a little more breathing room as we head into the final 3rd of this contest. Game would started at 6:35, over 2 hours old. Won't be the most crispest, the most fast-moving contest here today as the pitch swung on and missed. You realize that when the Sodbusters committed errors on 2 of the first 3 hitters in the contest and gave up 3 in the top of the first and then came back with 1 at the bottom of the first. Hilton scorches this one to right field. That's trouble. That's a base hit. That is extra bases. Shabry flies around second. He's going to try to score. Hilton is heading for third. He'll have a triple as he slides in. Graham Hilton, an RBI triple to score Shabry, and Hastings has gotten 1 of those runs back. They'll have a runner at third with nobody out for Tyler Welch. And you could tell that Hilton was thinking 3 right out of the box. Hilton battling through some health issues in the spring, had his ups and downs at Northern Oklahoma Enid, but getting healthier as this summer goes on and put a charge into that one. Pitch right across to Welch for strike 1. He's walked twice and scored once for the Hastings Sodbusters, now up 9-5. Hits are even at 8. Hastings getting a run back after the Plainsmen scored 2 in the top of the frame. Bouncing ball to the left side, and scoring will be Hilton. Welch is out, but does drive home the run. So bases empty, 1 out. Sodbusters push the lead to 10-5, and they'll try to reignite the offense with Chase Miller. Miller has scored twice. He's 0 for 2. Walked back in the second, flew out to left in the third, a fielder's choice grounder, and a run scored in the 5th. We're now in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Hastings leads it 10-5 against the Plainsmen. First of a 3-game series at Duncan Field. They'll play tomorrow and Monday as well. Pitch just misses. Inside, ball 1 on Chase Miller. Xander Hardy in relief of Austin Raines for the Sodbusters. Matthew Airy for Owen Kelly for the Plainsmen. Pitch misses, 2 balls and no strikes on Miller. With Phillips waiting on deck, the 2 chases at the bottom of the order for the Hastings Sodbusters. First 2 reached, both have scored for Hastings here in the home half of the 6th after the Plainsmen battled for 2 in the top of the inning, and the pitch misses for ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Tyler Welch getting the RBI ground out to score Graham Hilton, who had the RBI triple after the Jaden Shabry single. Right across for a strike to Chase Miller. No action in the Hastings bullpen at this point, as looks to be Xander Hardy's game for the time being and moving forward. 3 balls and 1 strike, and the pitch. Popped up a mile high on the third base side. The shortstop calls off the third baseman, and making the play will be Dax Wadler for the second out of the inning. So Chase Phillips trying to keep it going. Phillips with a multi-hit game, singled and scored a run in the second, an RBI single in the 5th. Sodbusters with 8 hits in the game. And Phillips looking for his first 3-hit game of the summer for the Sodbusters. He has now 3 2-hit games, back on May 25th and on June 20th. Now has a multi-hit game in each month of the season. Takes this pitch outside. He's done a little of everything for this Hastings team. He can play on the infield. He's the starting center fielder today and has been a reliable relief pitcher for Hastings as well, coming off Tommy John surgery. Did not pitch in the spring and takes this one off the backside. So a hit batsman. And Chase Phillips aboard with 2 outs. And don't be surprised to see Phillips take off. Get into scoring position for Jet Hannaford. Hannaford 1 for 3 on the day with a pair of runs scored at the top of the order for Hastings. As Christian Loera's kind of been a fixture at the top of the order, but he has scuffled lately and is not in the lineup today. As Josh Printer coaches down at third. Corey Caranda at first. A good lead for Chase Phillips now. We'll see if he does take off as Airy brings the pitch home. Off speed right there for strike 1 on Jet Hannaford. Hannaford a strikeout victim in the 5th. We're now in the 6th, and your leadoff man is batting for the 5th time. So it's been a pretty good day offensively for Hastings. They have sent a lot of men to the plate. Curveball beauty. 2 quick strikes on Jet Hannaford with a runner at first, 2 outs, and 2 home for Hastings. A single and a triple to begin the frame, an RBI ground out for Welch. Since then, a pop-up, and a hit batsman. Runner goes. Pitch taken for a ball. Throw down to second base. Not going to be in time. It bounces into center field. Phillips up, and he's headed to third. Here comes the throw, and that is way off line. Phillips will come home. The ball carried all the way into the dugout on the throw home from Brady Alexander, and the Sodbusters will be gifted a run right here. Phillips with a stolen base, and then the throw got away, allowing Phillips to get to third, and then a second error will allow him to get home. So the throwing error for Easton Mitchell, and then Brady Alexander airmailed that one into the Hastings dugout to give the Sodbusters their third run of the frame. And now Jetta Hannaford puts it in play. Going to be a tough one. It's knocked down by the third baseman, but no chance, as Jet Hannaford was going to beat that out anyway. Once that ball hit the turf between the third baseman and the shortstop, see how they rule it officially, but Jet Hannaford with his speed, with the third baseman going to his left, I don't think there's any way they get Jet Hannaford. He is named Jet Hannaford for a reason. As the Hastings Sodbusters see what that official play will be, but Sodbusters will send Luke Causey, as they do say an error, but man, I'm thinking Jet Hannaford, with that ball put in play, was an infield single. So we are going to get Scott Galusha on with us here momentarily, as Sodbusters' Luke Causey is at the plate. And Causey will put this one in play. The second baseman's got it. The throw to first in time, but Hastings does get 2 runs back and 1 more, as they now lead it by a score of 11-5 in the 6th inning. As we bring you Sodbuster Baseball, and my cords, they are tangled today. And let's just get this pulled out. Get this untangled. Throw this here. There we go. All right.
Good, I got you.
Okay. So pretty good go for the Hastings Sodbusters after Hastings booted around a little bit.
Oh.
How about the consolation, though, seeing Xander Hardy come in and throw pretty well. 2 runs were home, bases loaded, nobody out, to get out of that with no more damage done and then come back and score 3. You kind of feel like you're back in control.
Absolutely. I think that was really big. I didn't see the whole inning. I took one of their players, their catcher.
You're lucky.
Yeah. Well, I did comment that I saw a 5 by the error when I left. But when I came, I took one of their players, the catcher. We went and got his elbow looked at, so he's going to be okay. No major damage for sure, but we do have some swelling, so we got him taken care of, which is nice. But yeah, I don't know for sure. We started off bad defensively, but I really like, again, we talk about this a lot, or I do at least. I really love our answer. Mm-hmm. After giving up 3 runs right away in the top of the first inning, we at least scored 1 just to show them, hey, we're here, we're not going anywhere. And then we've done a nice job offensively today for sure. Just got to figure out how to field balls like we know how to do it. But right now it's we're not seeing it very well for sure, because we're kind of kicking it around, and that's not conducive to putting a winning streak together. But at least the bats have showed up for us today.
Yep, really nice job. And you mentioned that. Well, you feel bad for the Plainsmen. I mean, Brian O'Connell went down early. He had to exit in the second, but it sounds like he's going to be okay.
Yeah,
they're short on players right now, particularly in the position.
Yeah, he's probably not going to play tomorrow or Monday. But we did have PTSR Chad and his staff over at PTSR on Saturday night of 4th of July weekend. We're more than accommodating to get us down there to see somebody, and I know O'Connell feels better that we got a chance to have somebody see it. But all the big ligaments are in place. We do have some swelling, and they did something I've never seen before. They did this laser treatment that's supposed to speed up the anti-inflammatory process. So we all had to have goggles on for that. But he's okay. I don't think he's going to play the next couple days, so that may make him even more thin. But I think he's going to be okay in the long term.
Top of the 7th inning, Sodbusters with a new right-hander and a new player. It's Adam DeBoer making his 2025 Sodbuster debut. As first pitch swinging is Ortega, goes right to the shortstop, and the throw to first in time. Good bounce back there for Chase Miller as Chris Ortega is out. And Adam DeBoer, good to have him back in the fold, a guy who is playing for East Central Missouri College.
And he's going to Texas A&M Kingsville.
Okay.
That's where he's heading. And so really happy to get him back. He's played for us for a couple different years. I always run together, but I think it's 2. And he's going to make a couple starts for us here down the stretch at home, and he's going to drive back home to Beatrice with his family. But we're really happy to get Adam back. Really, as you probably remember, pretty solid fastball and a really good breaking ball. Kind of a little like Jacob Shaw in my mind. If he can throw strikes with the fastball, his breaking ball is really good, and his breaking ball is really good anyway. But it's got to have that complement with able to throw strikes with the fastball.
Sodbusters on top, 11-5. They've scored every inning but the third today, in a game which has featured 9 errors in the contest, despite between the two teams. 3-0 the count now on Asher Friedman.
Yeah, and on top of that, really, we had a couple more missed plays that I don't think show up in the book. But those are things we have to clean up. And, we're trying to make sure Josh is doing a nice job at rotating some kids in, which is nice. So we're getting some kids some at-bats that maybe aren't everyday players. But we've got to clean those things up. Those are things we can control. We just need to be better down the stretch.
And again, you kind of feel pretty good for Xander Hardy, the way he battled through that to allow only the 2 runs scored, considering the Plainsmen had 2 home, bases loaded, nobody out, able to get 3 straight outs to end that frame, and then Hastings comes right back. The response, the single from Shabry, RBI triple from Hilton, RBI ground out from Welch, and then not settling for that, Chase Phillips hit by a pitch, stolen base, and he would come around to score on a pair of errors there. This pitch is inside. Then Jet Hannaford, who had that slow roller, and they ended up calling that an error. But I think Jet Hannaford probably beats that one out.
Yeah, he had to go. I saw that play, and I haven't got a chance to text Andy yet. And I understand why he did it, because he got to it. He cut it off but couldn't hold it in the glove. But I'm with you. He had to go so far to get that, and it wasn't hit very hard. I don't think there's any way. He throws me out probably, but not Jet Hannaford.
As the Sodbusters lead this one 11-5. Again, DeBoer, one of 3 new players on the roster today. Josh Nolte of Missouri Western, Josh West of Alma College, to go along with Adam DeBoer, who has now made his next college stop known, Texas A&M Kingsville. 2-0 delivery.
There you go.
And that across for strike 2-1. Got the ground out, but walked Friedman and trying to get Braden Boyle here.
We were able to get Josh West through networking, really. So, as it turns out, after this pitch here,
Popped foul, out of play.
As it turns out, there is a connection with Alma College. It's not really what we used, but they're in Joel Skipper's conference up in Michigan.
Up in Michigan, yeah.
But the Saginaw Valley coach has friends up there, and he called all his friends up there saying that we were looking for pitchers, and so that's how we got Josh West, and thankfully he thought better of it. He was going to drive down here from upper Michigan and thought better of it and flew in today, which is good.
I suppose Detroit to Grand Island, or did he fly into Grand Island?
Yeah, he flew into Grand Island.
Detroit, Dallas, Grand Island,
yep.
I suppose.
Yep. Detroit, Dallas, Grand Island, exactly. And so that was nice. And Justin Clark and his family, who are hosting both new Joshes today, picked him up at the airport today. So we try to tell all the guys to fly into Grand Island, because we can easily get you. It's just so tough if they fly into Omaha, which I know is cheaper, but we don't have the manpower or the time for the 5-hour round trip to get them.
2-2 pitch is bounced to the left side, and Miller's got this one. Throws to second for 1, over to first. Not going to be in time, but they do get the lead runner there as Friedman is out. Boyle with the fielder's choice grounder. 6-4 on the put out there. Sodbusters have had some nice moments and some shaky moments. How about the outfield assists on back-to-back plays? Miller getting the relay from Phillips to gun down a runner, and then the next time Luke Causey throws out the future Sodbuster Brady Alexander at home.
Yeah, I saw that. I watched our broadcast for that because I was right next to you in the other room. Ooh.
Here's a bouncing ball into right field for a base hit, and here's a throw from Causey to third base.
Got him again.
Out! Luke Causey flashes the arm strength again. The grounder from Alexander. Braden Boyle tries to go first to third. 9-5 on the putout, and on cue, Luke Causey does it again.
The only throw that gets him is the perfect one there.
Yep.
That was absolutely on a line perfect. So.
And I do not, I guess I've seen Causey kind of airmail some up the line, but today, oh my goodness, I kind of wondered, okay, how is his arm accuracy? Well, today it's pretty darn good, and he's funny out in right field, and maybe it's just me. I'm thinking he doesn't look that fast, but he gets to every ball.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, two yesterday, the two diving catches he made yesterday, I just feel like, well, there's no way he's going to get there, and by golly, he runs down nearly everything out in right field.
You know, and you said it, well, first of all, that play that he made in the first inning last night, I think, was the play of the game. I mean, I know we had a crazy event for 4 hours last night, but if he doesn't make that play, our guys are a little down in that dugout. And the bases loaded, 2 outs. If that ball hits the ground, they're up 2-0, and who
Probably
knows how
three.
maybe 3. But that really was a great job to keep the momentum going, and of course the play made later in the game was really good as well. But he's really played well. You know, all he did was fix his footwork a little bit. He was opening up a little bit early, and boy, he's just played a really good right field for us. But he's one of those guys that doesn't look like he's going very fast, and then he gets there. So.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Airy going to be back out as the Sodbusters do lead it by a score of 11-5. If you like to dream, little 4-run inning, you can put the finishing touches on this one a bit early and save yourself a pitching inning or two. But we'll see how it all goes.
I'd
for
like
Hastings.
to see some good at bats.
Yep.
And you know, you see my family is walking down the concourse. My son, my daughter's boyfriend, Nick, and my daughter-in-law Cassandra are preparing for the spinny bat race. So that could be interesting.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Do we want to do that live on the broadcast?
You know,
Ever since the broken leg, and I'm surprised that there still is a spinny bat race after seeing someone go down.
We talked about it, but I simply said to my son, "Here's what you don't do: don't jump on anybody's back." Okay, and Brent and John are friends of mine, and they just didn't make a very good decision, and unfortunately we had a bad accident. But no, we're going to keep doing it. We're just going to make sure that we try to follow the rules a little bit. But I'd like to do that on there.
Sure, we can do that as the Hastings Sodbusters do lead this game by a score of 11-5 as Weston Johnston steps to the plate for the Hastings Sodbusters. Hastings looking to go to 18-13, trying to get back to 5 games over 500 for the summer. More importantly, get over 500 in the second half standings, go to 2-1 is in the second half because all the travel teams, and right now everybody's beating the travel teams for the most part. So you've got Casper 4-1, Oahe 4-1, Spearfish 3-2, and 500 gets you a tie for last place in the standings here early on.
I'm not worried about that. I really like our schedule in the second half, and we just need to get some momentum going. We need to take care of business today. We need to play better tomorrow, and if we do those things, we're going to have a chance to win Sunday and Monday. And if we do that, we're going to be right back where we need to be. And we don't play Casper or Spearfish all second half. So I like this group. We've got to clean up a few things, but I think we're going to be right there with an opportunity in the second half.
Meanwhile, Spearfish and Casper play each other 10 times. This one hit very hard to center field, but Duncan Field's going to hold it. Well played there by Brady Alexander. He's got some nice wheels out in center. We'll be joining the Sodbusters here in a couple days as Weston Johnston lines out to him.
Yeah, he plays at the University of Ohio, and he called me early this summer and said, "Hey, I'm playing for Bo and the Plainsmen, but I'd like to finish the year with you." And so we knew we typically have, there's just a reload portion of the game, and we knew we were going to need bodies, and so we're happy to have him. He hung out with us a little bit today, so he met some of the guys today, which I think is important as well.
And he's shown some good pop for the Plainsmen. He's got 2 of their 7 home runs. Speaking of pop, Cale Jensen hits this one well, but it's a semi-routine fly ball out here at Duncan Field as Jax Boudigan makes this catch. 2 hard-hit balls, 2 outs here in the 7th inning.
So if we're at Fremont, Spearfish, or Pier, that's back-to-back home runs.
Isn't that crazy?
And our dugout is going bananas. Instead, it's 2 up, 2 down, and we got to figure out how to get something going here.
Well, it's like I say, it's an interesting dynamic here. The Plainsmen, like I say, 7 home runs for them. As we get our first look at Joey Hecker, he is going to pinch hit for the Hastings Sodbusters, pinch hitting for Jaden Shabry. So Joey Hecker in the lineup for the first time today for Hastings.
Yeah, I heard them talking about their home run prowess. They've hit quite a few, but They haven't hit one here.
No. 7 in 15 games, though.
Yes, that's very good.
And like I say, you look at their lineup, and it seems like they've got, more D1 players, and you feel better that their schedule's a little more forgiving in terms of they actually had a couple of off days during their 18 games, 2 off days, and they actually ended up with 3 or 4 off days because of rainouts and doubleheaders.
Yeah.
So, man, that was last year. I think they played 17 games in 18 days.
They did.
Oh, my gosh, that was just awful.
We did a better job as a league, and Eric and his crew, they kind of head up the scheduling committee, but they did a nice job. If you look at that, they'd play 3, and they'd have a day off before they traveled to the next spot. So that was much more doable, much more realistic travel for those guys. And I know they've won 3 games, 2 against us when they were here the first time, but they've been more competitive and they play hard. But I think that part of that is that schedule is much more gives them a better opportunity to keep competing.
Joey Hecker was hit by a pitch, and then Graham Hilton bloops it. It falls. Hecker's going to score all the way from first, and Hilton hustles into second. Miscommunication between Jax Budigan and Dax Wandler, and the Sodbusters will be gifted a run here in the bottom half of the 7th inning.
Well, you're right, but that doesn't happen if Joey doesn't give up on the play. Joey was running hard from the second that ball was hit. And I tell you what, the shortstop, I think, thought the outfielder was going to get there, and he had to come a long way to get there, just could not get there. So hats off to Joey Hecker to not take that for granted. And that was 270 feet running pretty hard. And if he's not going hard the whole time, then that doesn't happen.
Yep, Graham Hilton getting credit for a double here and gets a run batted in for the Hastings Sodbusters. So the 2-out hit batsman turns into a run, and the Sodbusters get a run on the board, and they now lead it by a score of 12-5 here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
And I'm sure Graham's mom's watching. This is Graham's last night with us tonight. He goes home tomorrow. We're going to miss him. He's he's got better and better as the season's gone on, and he plays hard and wears his emotions on his sleeve, which I like, and sometimes maybe a little bit more than I would like, but I would rather turn somebody down than to turn them up, and he does a nice job.
The Sodbusters now get a run on the board here in the bottom of the 7th inning to lead it 12-5, and the pitch to Welch. Welch hits it hard, but foul down the left side. Tyner getting an RBI ground out his last time up. He's also walked and scored a run. You talking about guys who maybe don't get as much playing time as they'd like, but one more chance, one more year for the Hastings College grad. Wanted to come out and spend one more summer here at Duncan Field, and getting an opportunity today and contributing.
Not only that, he's done a nice job. He's helped Josh out in the dugout, and there's a lot of things that we see Tyler do that you don't see in the scorebook. But it was sure nice to see him have a couple good at bats. About 10 days ago, he had a couple doubles. I think when I was on vacation, I saw, and he's had some good swings today. So we're happy for Tyler, and glad he decided to spend one more summer with us.
12-5, Hastings on top, as 1 on, 2 outs with the 2-2 count. Airy trying to get through this inning, and this one is lined toward the right side. Second baseman's got it on a hop, and the throw to first in time as Ivan Gomez takes care of Welch. We'll keep it right here as 1 run on 1 hit for the Hastings Sodbusters. They now lead it by a score of 12-5. 12 runs now on 10 hits for Hastings.
I secretly am rooting for some sort of turf burn by somebody here. Not anybody, nothing bad. But,
okay, so this is the Galusha family Dizzy Bat Race.
Yes.
You can call it,
That's
Scott.
right, I got it. So it's
okay. You got
my
it.
son Kenny on the left. Next is the new boyfriend Nick, Allie's boyfriend. Next is Cassandra, my daughter-in-law, Kenny's wife. And then last, Allie, my youngest daughter, who used to work for us a little bit, just graduated from college. So I hope that Jason counts very slowly, and I hope they all spin a lot.
All right, so Scott Galusha going to give his perspective. He's done play-by-play before,
I have.
and so Scott Galusha on the call.
There we go. Kenny's spinning faster. Kenny's a great athlete. He was a wrestler at Grand Island High School, and he's a really, really good athlete. So he's definitely the favorite, but I hope one of the girls fall is my chance here. Cassandra is getting help. There goes Danny goes down, and Nick, the new guy, is going to win. I got to tell you, I'm happy for Nick, but a little disappointed. Cassandra's still going sideways, but we made it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like anybody's hurt, so we're good.
Hallelujah for that.
Yeah, that's right. That's all I wanted was nobody get hurt, but it was nice to see my family get out here tonight. My mom's here tonight. My dad hopefully is watching. He's not feeling very well, so we decided to stay home. But it's nice, always nice when my family comes out.
Very cool, and nice to have a good weather day. You're not talking to your new best friend, the meteorologist at the National Weather Service in Hastings.
Yes.
Do you know them all by first name?
I
Can
do.
you recognize them by voice now?
Yeah, I do. They know my voice, and I know theirs. They actually sent me a text today and said all it said was no reason to call today, and LOL. So, I mean, they know, they understand, too, what I have to do. It's not when you're responsible for all these people, I depend on those guys, and they have done such a great job for us. So they've just told me they've just done a really good job.
Hastings leads this one 12-5. We head to the 8th inning as the Sodbusters see what they can get done. And looks like Josh Nolte has come in. Yep, so Nolte for DeBoer. DeBoer worked last inning, so that's a neat opportunity with this big lead. Get these guys' feet wet. DeBoer comes in, throws an inning, and now you get Nolte in a kind of a semi-non-pressure situation because you're going to need him more for high leverage, and to come in and throw an inning like this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, and he's ready. He's been throwing, and they just got a new coach at Missouri Western, and they weren't going to send anybody out. And then right at the last minute here, like July 1, they said, hey, why don't you go find yourself about 20 innings? And so we're happy to have him. Nice young man, good family. I talked to them on the phone. We had a Zoom meeting. And so he said he was ready to go, and I said, well, I can make that happen. So
show up, and that's kind of cool. Show up and get an inning.
That's right.
That's summer ball, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. He's a senior.
Okay.
I think he told me it was finance. I can't remember. Talked to a lot of kids, but he's a senior and looking forward to one more opportunity. And he's got some experience, which I think really helps a lot here at Duncan Field.
As Easton Mitchell grounds out. And he's their backup catcher, and he got dinged earlier. Are we allowing, can you courtesy run in the Independence League, or did we just do this today?
You cannot, but we can surely
make an accommodation.
Yeah, Josh told me that we had another problem with I didn't know it was the other catcher.
Yeah.
But we'll see what we can do. I'll figure it out. I'll talk to Bo, and we're going to try to make this as good as we can. And if we don't have very many catchers either right now. We started with 5. Yeah. But now we're down to really 2 with Brock leaving here in a week or so.
Yeah, because I thought now Jude Greaves, is he done or he's out?
Jude Greaves is here.
Okay.
Yep.
And of course, Hilton's leaving. Yeah. So
Hilton leaves. So. This is his last game. So we're just going to rotate Weston and Jude. I am talking to another catcher, but when I was out taking some ground balls yesterday, I talked to both those guys, and they were plenty fine with just rotating. So I think that's what we're going to do. I'd kind of like to just keep it with my guys. If we don't need to add, I don't think we're gonna. I like the way that dugout gets along together, so we'll just kind of see what happens. But it's going to be a long road for those guys for the last about 20 games.
Jake Steffes has had himself a good game quietly. Just gets his 3rd straight single. He's knocked in a run. The Hastings Sodbusters did lead this game by a score of 12-5. Yeah, that previous at-bat, Easton Mitchell just laboring down to first, and they actually brought in a courtesy runner for him in that previous time that he was in there. And this time, Jake Steffes at first. And what a job for Jake Steffes. His last 2 games against the Sodbusters, he has got 6 hits. Jax Budigan, now at the plate now, number 9 hitter, bounces it foul.
That was 88.
Nice to see that.
Yep. 88, yep.
Again, he is the product of Missouri Western.
He actually was born in Nebraska. His dad was born in Tecumseh, and now they live in Oklahoma.
Going to have to figure out exactly how to pronounce his hometown in Oklahoma. Is the great play there. What athleticism there. It's one unassisted for the new right-hander, Josh Nolte. Caught it on the fly and just went and ran over to first to retire Budigan. Steffes advances to second.
Working fast and throwing a lot of strikes. That makes me smile.
2 outs, 1 on, 12-5. Sodbusters on top. Wandler will come to the plate as he is the leadoff man, batting for the 5th time. He is 0 for 4, did reach on an error and score on an error in what was an ugly first inning. Sodbusters had errors on the 2 of the first 3 at-bats of the game, and
Thanks,
then
Steve.
just for good measure threw in that 6th inning when it went for a couple of more errors in that frame. And
Yeah, that was not a good start. I mean, well, there's an easy play at first that we butchered and just made a couple bad mistakes. But again, that's the thing maybe I've been most impressed with this group all year. Minus the 5-game stretch that we ended the first half with, we've responded so well. When things don't go our way, we come right back in and get after it, and that's what I admire most about this group and what I'm most proud of.
And I enjoyed the response from the starting pitchers, because sometimes that can make you unravel. Austin Raines working 5 innings today. When the defense struggled behind him, he continued to battle through there and ends up working his longest outing of the year, allowing 4 runs, just 2 of those earned on 7 hits.
He's a horse, and he's going to play for J.M. Kelly. He's one of those just graduating seniors. So despite the fact he's a great big kid, he's just a young pup, and I think J.M.'s going to be really happy with him when he gets him this fall. And
he seems much older than a high school grad, too, because nothing really fazed him. I mean, the strike zone was a little small at times, and it was been tight for both pitchers, but it didn't seem to. He just kept throwing and didn't really show any kind of emotion or reaction.
And he does something that I really like to teach. I tell my pitchers all the time, I want to look at you and not tell what the score is. And I think Austin looks the same every time he's out there working and competing.
Bouncing ball to the right side should do it. Fielded cleanly. Throw to first in time as we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Sodbusters continue to lead this one 12-5.
I would guess we're either going to see Nolte again, or maybe, I'm not sure West is ready to go. I think he is, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's him throwing out there. I can't tell who's out there for sure, but it is another righty, so I bet that's the other Josh West out there getting ready to go. Well, Steve, I'm going to go say bye to my family because we got some cleanup to do tonight when we're done, but really appreciate it and love listening to you. Thanks for all you do. And Connor and Noah, thanks for helping us out too. And Mason, if you're not feeling good, I hope you feel better, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.
Scott Galusha, owner general manager of the Hastings Sodbusters, 12-5 as we will head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. And we will keep it right here and tell you that there is another new Plainsmen pitcher. It appears that this is Brecken Mason. Brecken Mason will be the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Plainsmen. Brecken Mason, right-hander. He's another Midland guy. He's from Aurora, Utah, Treasure Valley Community College before he came to Midland. And 0-1, a 12.0 ERA, making his 5th appearance at 4 2/3, allowing 9 runs, 8 of those earned, allowing 9 hits, striking out 5, walking 6. Opponents hitting .391 against him here in long relief action, or probably more likely short relief, probably just in for 1 inning in this 8th. So the Sodbusters do own a 12-5 advantage, as looking to tack on here. See how this bottom half of the 8th inning unfolds. Hastings getting a run in the first, 4 in the second to take the lead, and then they kept getting the tack-on runs with 1 run in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. After the Plainsmen got 2 at the top of the 6th, Hastings gets 3 right back and then added a run last inning. They owned a 12-5 lead with Chase Miller coming to bat. Miller's reached base twice. He has scored twice, a walk and a fielder's choice grounder. He's 0 for 3 for the Hastings Sodbusters. As the right-handed pitcher comes set and brings it home. Good first pitch strike there for Brecken Mason. These Plainsmen, it's the former North Platte Plainsmen, and the league bought the uniforms from North Platte when they elected not to play at this level anymore, and so turned this into a travel-only team, but they still have the uniforms which say North Platte upon them, but it's just the Plainsmen. Kind of based here in Hastings, if you will, before they hit the road. They meet here in Hastings to begin their trip, but now wrapping up their 18 games for the summer season. Started in Fremont, played 3 here, and then onward, went up to Pier, got 3 in Oahe, 3 at Spearfish, went on to Casper, and then really the worst road trip for them is coming into this game. They had to go from Casper to Hastings with no off day and then have a 3-game series here in Hastings to wrap up their competition for the summer. Meanwhile, the Bison have begun their 15 or 20 games or so of travel ball. 1-2 pitch inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Chase Miller. The Hastings Sodbusters on the verge of win number 18. And it's going to be a walk here, actually, to Chase Miller. Miller aboard, and Chase Phillips will come to the plate. Phillips with a 2-hit game as he has knocked in 1 and scored twice for the Hastings Sodbusters, trying to get his first 3-hit game as a Hastings Sodbuster. Runner at first, nobody out, 12-5 the score, and the pitch is missing for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes on Chase Phillips. Sodbusters, you like their approach, giving up 5 runs today, and keep in mind that was the run total they allowed each of the first 2 games against the Plainsmen in that doubleheader, losing both of those, but it's amazing how much more forgiving it is when you're putting pressure on offensively. And despite giving up the 5 runs, Hastings battling from 3-0 down and comfortably in front here. Just never had any kind of offensive approach against the Plainsmen in that twin bill and lost 5-1 and 5-2, and give the Plainsmen pitchers and defense a lot of credit. They had a really good defensive day against Hastings, and tremendous pitching, including the starting pitcher, Owen Kelly, who will likely be the losing pitcher in this contest. Kelly did pick up the win in one of the 2 games the last time out. Bouncing ball back up the middle, shortstop to the second baseman for 1, over to first, and double play on a bang-banger as Chase Phillips. He doesn't ground into many double plays the way he gets down the line, but this will be a 6-4-3 twin killing. Nice job, Wandler to Gomez. Gomez the quick turn to Steffes, and there are 2 outs now with nobody on. To back to the top of the order, Jet Hannaford. Hannaford trying to keep it going for the Hastings Sodbusters. And Jet on the day. We'll go with the official numbers here until they get changed, but 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored for Jet Hannaford. They say that he reached on an error in the 6th inning. We would dispute that, but we'll go with the official scoring at this point. Hastings Sodbusters on the positive end of this one, 12-5, despite being out-hit 11-9, and despite committing 5 errors in the contest. A combined 9 errors between the 2 teams. It hasn't been a work of art, but if you're a Hastings Sodbuster fan, you will take win number 18 and win number 2 here in the second half of the ILB standings. Same 2 teams tomorrow and Monday, 6:35 both nights. As the right-hander working his way through this one, Brecken Mason. Bouncing ball back to Mason. It bounces off his leg. He stays with it. Fires to first in time. How about that? Woo. Mason, a rocket over to Steffes at first, and the Sodbusters send the minimum to the plate here in the 8th inning. We head to the 9th. Sodbusters trying to knock things down and pick up the victory, 12-5, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner. Head of the 9th inning, the Hastings Sodbusters trying to finish this one off, as we will see, well, all of the new guys get a chance to play today. Josh West, Adam DeBoer, and Josh Nolte. Josh West will get the opportunity to pitch the 9th inning here, so didn't know if he arrived in time to feel comfortable about pitching, but we will see Josh West out of Alma College, right-handed pitcher, He arrives and he pitches, much like Josh Nolte last inning and Adam DeBoer in the 7th. So really a perfect scenario. You get 3 new pitchers. You want to let them get comfortable here at Duncan Field. It's a non-pressure situation. And so far, so good. Throwing up a couple of zeros last 2 innings and trying to put up another 0 here in the 9th and a 7-run lead. And if it even doesn't go perfect, well, you've got a 7-run lead. So really a great opportunity to pick up the victory and come from behind fashion. A tough first inning that saw the Sodbusters give up 3. They battle back for 1 in the second, or 1 in the first, 4 in the second, and have really cruised since then. The 6th inning pretty dicey as they gave up 2 runs there and able to minimize the damage in that one. It came back with 3 to really kind of eliminate the drama of this one. As Ivan Gomez batting here in the 9th inning for the Plainsmen. He is 1 for 3, singled and scored a run in the first. He's also lined out, he's flown out, and he has walked. 0-1 pitch on the way, and bounced foul over by the Sodbuster dugout. 2 quick strikes on Ivan Gomez. Tomorrow's coverage about 6:10 or so, with the first pitch at 6:35. Our Sodbuster Spotlight today featured outfielder Jackson Crane. We had some YouTube issues to begin the broadcast, so that didn't make the YouTube broadcast. You can catch that interview on Spotify. Tomorrow, we'll have an interview with Jet Hannaford. Hopefully things will be good to go from the beginning of our stream tomorrow. 12-5, Sodbusters in command here, and a 1-2 pitch on the way. Bouncing ball foul over on the top of the Sodbuster dugout. It remains 1-2 on Ivan Gomez. Gomez, a product of Northern Oklahoma Enid. Heard Scott Galusha mention the fact that his college teammate, Graham Hilton, ending his time with the Sodbusters today. I thought he was going to have one more day, but today is going to be the last day for Graham Hilton. So Sodbusters are going to be a little bit thin behind the plate with just the 2 regular catchers. You've also got Brock Cross, who could catch 2-2 delivery and line foul. Remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Josh West given a workout here in his Sodbuster debut. Big, tall right-hander for the Hastings Sodbusters. We'll learn more about Josh in the coming couple of weeks, along with Josh Nolte, and get the latest from Adam DeBoer, who's already got his next college plan taken. Swing at 1 in the turf. Graham Hilton hustles and throws him out. How about Graham Hilton, the athleticism to come up gunning on strike 3? Thought when that ball got away, there is no way they're going to get out Gomez, and Gomez officially strikes out, but an assist there from Graham Hilton, if you will. As now the head coach, Josh Printer, they're going to, Graham Hilton ending his time for the Hastings Sodbusters, and they are going to take him out as he gets a hug, and we'll get a chance at a little curtain call here. Graham Hilton ending his time for the Hastings Sodbusters, gets a hug, and will head to the dugout here for Hastings, and Jude Greaves will come into the game for Hilton. And you got the thank you, Graham. And what a play to end on. You want to couldn't have scripted it any better. A strikeout, and that was Graham Hilton at his best. Never gives up on a play, and just tremendous hustle, tremendous athleticism, and what an arm as he threw it down to first to complete the strikeout and then got a chance to exit the game as Graham Hilton replaced by Jude Greaves behind home plate. First pitch swinging is Chris Ortega. Ortega 1 for 4 on the day, single back in the first. Since then, a pop-up to the catcher, a fly out to right, and a ground out. 12-5, Sodbusters 2 outs away from now making it 2 wins in a row after they had lost 6 straight. Pitch just misses. 1 ball and 1 strike on Ortega. Ortega, a Midland College guy. A communication studies major, returnee from last year's Plainsmen team. Swings and misses. Down to the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Asher Friedman waits on deck for the Plainsmen. 2 more games for them, and then they are done for the summer season. Playing 18 games in 20 days. 1-2 delivery. Called strike 3, and Ortega knew it. So the first strikeout for the Sodbuster newcomer, Josh West. I should say the second strikeout. He got credit for the strikeout with Gomez hustling down, and now it's going to be Asher Friedman. And Josh West trying to strike out the side in his Sodbuster debut. And see what he can get done, working out of the stretch here. Swing and a miss. No balls and a strike. He's from Alma College, and that's another university we're going to have to learn a little bit more about in the coming couple of weeks. Scott calls it Alma. Being in Nebraska, we say Alma, so we'll see the official pronunciation on it as well as the pitch across for a strike. One way or the other, Josh West has thrown really well. So he's hitting about 84 miles an hour and looking to see if he can finish this off. Brings it high for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Asher Friedman. Friedman had a sacrifice fly back in the first inning. He's reached on an error, had an infield single. He's walked. Sodbusters 1 strike away from victory, and the pitch high and tight. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Sodbusters getting 3 new pitchers in the fold, and you're kind of excited about them all. Adam DeBoer, Josh Nolte, and Josh West all trying to put zeros on the board in back-to-back-to-back innings. 2-2 delivery. Outside for ball 3, 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the ninth. 12-5. Hastings on top despite being out hit 11-9. A combined 9 errors between these two teams. And Josh West, another 3-2 pitch on the way. And Friedman spoils it, fouls it away. It remains 3-2 with 2 outs. Hastings has had a solid day, as particularly on the offensive side, it's made up for some defensive struggles. 3-2 pitch, swing and a foul ball, or was it a swing and a miss? It looks like it's a swing and a miss, and one that popped away. The tag applied by Greaves, and the debut of Josh West features 3 strikeouts, so you like the future for this Hastings Sodbuster team with the newcomers all putting up zeros, and Hastings does pick up the win by a score of 12-5. We'll get the thoughts of Josh Printer, have our post game coming up next. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball. Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen, a tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. FiskChiropracticSportsClinic.com. Start feeling better now.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Solid day for the Hastings Sodbusters as they win this game by a score of 12-5, particularly from an offensive standpoint, as every player in the lineup that started had either a hit, a run scored, or a run batted in, or a combination of thereof. As the Sodbusters have 12 runs on 9 hits, they win despite committing 5 errors. The Plainsmen 5 runs, 11 hits. They commit 4 errors in the contest. Starting pitcher was Austin Raines as he picks up the win, going 5 innings, allowing 4 runs on 7 hits, striking out 3, walking 1, and only 2 of the runs earned against Austin Raines. He was followed by Xander Hardy. Hardy allowing 1 unearned run in 1 inning on 2 hits. Didn't strike out anybody, did hit 1. Adam DeBoer made his Sodbuster debut for 2025. No runs, 1 hit. He walked 1. Then you had Josh Nolte, 1 inning, allowing no runs on 1 hit. And how about the debut of Josh West? No runs, no hits, 3 strikeouts. So it started with the pitching. Again, the defense scuffled a bit, but offensively more than enough. As up and down the lineup, Jet Hannaford, 1 for 5, 2 runs scored. Luke Causey, 1 for 4, 2 runs batted in, a run scored. You had Weston Johnston, 1 for 2, an RBI, a run scored. Cale Jensen, 1 for 4, 2 runs batted in. Jaden Shabry, 1 for 3 with a run scored. His pinch hitter, Joey Hecker, ended up going 0 for 0, but scored a run. Graham Hilton in his Sodbuster finale, 2 for 4, 2 runs batted in, and a run scored. Tyler Welch, 0 for 3, but did have a run batted in and a run scored. Chase Miller, 0 for 3, but scored 2 runs. And Chase Phillips, 2 for 4, an RBI, 2 runs scored. Extra base hits. How about Graham Hilton, a double and a triple. Luke Causey had a double. Weston Johnston with a triple. As the Sodbusters getting it down in a lot of different ways. They also ended up stealing 4 bases, including 3 for Chase Phillips. Jet Hannaford also had a stolen base, so really good team win for the Hastings Sodbusters. We'll get the perspective on it from Josh Printer, as maybe it wasn't the cleanest of defensive games, but the offense kind of making up for it today.
Yeah, kind of address that at the end, not taking nothing away from our win, but good teams going to come back and beat you if you give them a lot of free errors, free bases there, and just talking about BP starts there, taking ground balls game-like, and we got to do better all around defensively, help out our pitching staff. Speaking of that, though, pitching staff came out and did a great job. Raines had a couple rough, errors. I think we had 2 errors in the first inning, but ended up battling back, giving us 4 or 5 zeros there, and then Xander came in big situation, ended up limiting them to just 2 runs, which was huge there, and then we bounced back after that and scored 3. But and then Adam, and then both Joshes just came in an inning apiece, and really amazed, really excited to have them in the bullpen. So looking good there. Pitching staff did really good attacking guys. We just got to help them out on the defense side of it.
You love Austin Raines' approach, though. I mean, even with the errors being committed behind him, it doesn't seem like his demeanor didn't change at all. And for a high school grad to be that way, he seems older than his years.
Absolutely. Like you said, it didn't really faze him, and just kept going, kind of one-on-one pitcher versus batter. And once it leaves your hands, you really don't have, unless it's a comebacker to you, you really don't have much control of it. So just to go out there and control what he can control, and hats off to him, because I mean that's not easy to do. That's not easy. It's a lot easier said than done to not get frustrated or not let it bother you. And he did a great job responding there.
And speaking of response, you're down 3-0 heading into the bottom of the first inning against a guy who had hit you for 5 innings the first time you played. Talk about the offensive approach, the offensive focus, as you scored in every inning but 2 today, and scoring 12 runs.
Yeah, just never satisfied. Always trying to scratch a few each inning, and just make sure our dugout's into it, they're into it, and understand can't give any ABs away if you want to be consistent and don't want to look up. I mean, at the end of the year, you can have 10 or 15 ABs that you kind of threw away, and if you want, you can either drop 50 points on your batting average or kind of gain 50. So just understand that each and every AB counts. Just try to be consistent we did a really good job putting balls in play with 2 strikes, and then 2 out hitting the last 2 days have been a lot better as well. So.
And on a day where the defensive struggled, 3 outfield assists. That was kind of cool. 1 thrown out at home. You had the couple of going to third base. That worked actually 2 home and 1 to third.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great relay from Chase Phillips to Chase Miller there, and then threw a dot home, and then 2 really, really good throws from Luke Causey out in right field. Just hats off to them. Those outfield, you don't really have much practice with those really, and just threw 3, really 4 because of the relay to Chase Miller. If you don't get a good relay from Chase Phillips to Chase Miller, that he threw a dot to him, and then Chase threw a really good throw home, and then Luke Causey just let it eat, and ended up having one skipped home. That was a really good tag, kind of a deke from Graham Hilton, and then all the way to third for the 1, and great tag by Weston there. But yeah, hats off to them. Those were 3 really, really big outs as well.
And speaking of Graham Hilton, he kind of ends with a flourish, a double, a triple, and then how about throwing the guy out when it looked like it was going to be strike 3 wild pitch, and for him to come out of the box and get that throw, oh my goodness, and then you have a chance to take him out. That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, kind of trickled right in front of me, and I told him he still got time, just get a good throw, and made a hell of a play there. And I talked to the third base coach for the Plainsmen and asked him if he'd care if I took him out since this was the last game, and he much deserved curtain call there for Graham.
And I know the guys come and go, and that's, I guess is that kind of the fun thing in terms of, well, you hate to see that guy go, but then you see the 3 new guys come in, and then Cale Jensen yesterday. Kind of excited about the final 3 weeks of the season.
Oh yeah, we all 4 of the new guys that come in, Adam, Josh, and Cale, really excited for all 4 of them. Really excited. We know what we got with Adam already. We played with him the last 2 years, but really good job from them. And then obviously going to miss Graham Hilton. He's just a warrior, really good baseball player. Comes out ready to go every day, and he's a big leader in the dugout. So we're definitely going to miss Graham, but just proud of him, and hope nothing but the best for him in the future. So.
Josh Printer, head coach for the Hastings Sodbusters, 2 in a row for Hastings after they win yesterday in a walk-off fashion. Today, a little less drama as they take care of the Plainsmen 12-5. Continue the 3-game series tomorrow. We'll be on the air at 6:10 with the first pitch at 6:35. Then same story for Monday. So if you are in Central Nebraska, good opportunity to come out and see Sodbuster baseball. We mentioned the Sodbuster line. We'll give credit to the Plainsmen where credit is due. As how about Brady Alexander? And you're excited in that respect too. Yes, he had a good day for the Plainsmen. He had 4 hits in the contest. He is going to be a Sodbuster after Monday. And all he did today was go 4 for 4. He had 2 doubles in the contest. He knocked in a run. Now, he was thrown out on the bases twice on a couple of great throws. I think both of those from Luke Causey. I think he was the victim on both of those, as the Sodbusters did play some pretty good defense. He was the lone multi-hit game of their 11 hits. Jake Steffes had a 3-hit game. He goes 3 for 4 with a run batted in. So those 2 standout performers for the Plainsmen. Taking the loss today was their starter, Owen Kelly, and they were able to get through with 2 more pitchers out of their bullpen. So same 2 teams tomorrow, 6:10 for the coverage, and the first pitch at 6:35. Big thank you to Noah Pagel, for Connor Christensen. Final score, once again, the Hastings Sodbusters defeat the Plainsmen 12-5. I'm Steve Stein. Good night, everyone.
Catch the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Get the ultimate fan experience at a Hastings Sodbuster game this summer. Enjoy high-level collegiate summer woodbat baseball at the beautiful and historic Duncan Field in Hastings. Baseball and a whole lot more. Affordable family fun. That's what the Sodbusters and the Independence League are all about. Sodbuster Baseball. It's your team.
Catch the spirit